GhanaTalks Radio, the best station rocking the nation.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
A beautiful Thursday morning live on GhanaTalks Radio, on the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, where we bring you knowledgeable and insightful conversations right here. Yes, I know I'm not your usual host. Unfortunately, Miss Esnam wouldn't be joining us today, so I will be taking over her reels. I answer to the name Miss Regina Bliss, and we will be bringing you conversations, headlines, trending one as that. Live on GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. As usual, I have with me Miss Debbie Adosu, popularly known as our leadership. And also, God being so good, we have Madam Omare here with us also, who would be joining us in this insightful conversation. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You see the way I was looking at you?
Our leadership.
Where is that one also coming from?
It's a name that is already there. Or you forgotten?
Remind me.
Oh, okay. And they gave you another name,
Hey.
AKA. All right, Madam Omari. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hope you are doing well. I'm also fine.
We thank God.
Right. So, without wasting much time, let's delve straight into today's conversation. Starting with commercial drivers to strike May 19th over roadside trading and traffic violations. Commercial transport operators across the country have announced plans to embark on a nationwide strike on Monday, May 19th, 2025. The action is in protest against what they describe as the government's failure to enforce provisions of the Road Traffic Regulation Act 2012, which prohibits trading on roads, pavement, and at designated bus stops. At the center of their concerns is Sub-Regulation 117 of the Act, which explicitly states a person shall not sell, display, offer for sale, or deliver under a sale goods on or alongside a road, on a pedestrian walkway, within 30 meters of a railway level crossing, under a road traffic sign denoting a blind corner or rise on, within an intersection, or on or alongside a road including a toll booth and a plaza. Despite the clarity of the law, the drivers lamented that authorities have failed to enforce it, allowing widespread disregard of the regulation. According to the transport operators, the negligence has led to unsafe road conditions and worsened traffic congestion in many parts of the country. At a press conference on Tuesday, May 13th, Deputy Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, Samuel Amwa, said the ongoing violation of the law is putting drivers and passengers at risk. The protest is being spearheaded by the GPRTU, the Concerned Drivers Association of Ghana, and the True Drivers Union. The union also demanded immediate action from both the Ghana Police Service and the government to address the issue. We urge the Ghana Police and the government to enforce the law and take decisive action against traders who flout these regulations. It is unfair that we transport operators are expected to adhere to strict regulations while traders are allowed to operate with impunity on our roads, said Samuel Amwa. So as I read, on Monday coming 19th, the commercial drivers would be going on a strike over roadside trading and traffic violations. We all are Ghanaians, we all are concerned Ghanaians. We see to it that regulations or directives are being adhered to. We are always in vehicles, we are always in Trotsky, so we know what these drivers are talking about. I think yesterday I saw a comment where one person was like, Ghana is a lawless country, so why do you bother about going on a strike, to the extent that the money that you at least you used to feed your family or something will go to waste. So just ignore and live your life. So, Madam Omari, I'll be starting with you. Do you think it's right for these commercial drivers or concerned drivers to go on a strike in regards to this?
Well, first of all, good morning to our cherished listeners and wherever they are. This issue of, and let me take it from the comment you just read from someone. The problem we have in Ghana is our mindset. As citizens, as people, we've accepted things to be how they are, even though that's not supposed to be. And it's a worry. It is one of the reasons why trying to eradicate or eliminate some of these patterns from our living has become a very big problem or a very big challenge for us, because we have normalized it. It's like sana frititini na yeye no ade na efe na mo sesa no. So even though it's not right, it has become a norm. These drivers actually pay roadworthy dues and all these things, so they are supposed to enjoy certain privileges. We are always complaining as citizens, look at how the trotro drivers are being lawless. They pick people everywhere, they drop people everywhere, there's this and that. One of the main reasons why we are having these problems, as to why our bus stops aren't being utilized as they are supposed to, is because all these bus stops are being occupied by traders and vendors, which is not supposed to be so. Now our footpath pedestrian lanes have turned into marketplaces. So even as a pedestrian, and the funny thing is, when you are walking there, they try to regulate you. Hey man, one come in your mouth.
Exactly.
It is the right call, the appropriate call for the drivers to seek this justice and fairness for themselves. If it's going to worry other people, they should also demonstrate against the government to build them a market so that they can sell there. Our roadsides are not marketplaces. Our roadsides, they are not marketplaces. These are the things that the Accra mayor, the MCs, they should channel the force to. We need to tackle these community canker. Because I'm fire and Kobe. We want to make Ghana the cleanest city in Africa. We want to make Accra the cleanest city in him. How do you make these places clean with all these irregularities? We are too lawless, and the most annoying part of it is that we tend to accept the lawlessness as a norm. And so when the right thing is being challenged, or when the right procedure is challenging these lawless acts, we rather get offended. Ade be a ni see. Ade na won kwan de wo be different. You know about that be and say and say. So I'm in support of what the drivers are calling for, and I hope the police don't even let it get to this stage. And that's a simple call. Vacate them from the streets. Vacate them. And sometimes you see these GRA agents. All these people are enablers of lawlessness. You see them going to these traders and vendors by the roadside, taking deals from them.
But we have a sector in the Ghana Police Service, that is the MTTD, who are supposed to make sure that they enforce these laws. They see to it that all these directives are being adhered to. But in this press statement, they were holding the government accountable for these people's action, which in a way I feel it's not right.
Why do you think it's not right?
In as much as the government has a hand in it, I feel that the government has designated a board or a sector, which is the MTTD, to make sure that they oversee to all these rules, roads regulations. So in a way, the government is not supposed to be held responsible, but rather the MTTD.
Okay. What we always fail to understand is this: when we speak of government, every designated institute working under the president is government. So if the drivers union are petitioning government or they are demonstrating against government, whoever is responsible for that sector is the government.
Okay.
But then, more often, they are under a certain authority who needs to see to the enforcement of their responsibility. So let's say who are they writing or demonstrating this petition to?
To the government.
Which arm of government? Where would
They
take
didn't specify.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say they take it to the Roads and Highways Commission.
Yeah.
They are the ones to see that, okay, under our regulations, we also have the MTTD to do these things. So then let's also contact the MTTDs to do what is right. I don't know if you are getting it.
Yeah, I'm getting
yes.
it.
So whenever we are demonstrating against government and you hear people, government in why the president say, the powers of this land is established upon the shoulders of the executive, which is the president or the presidency. And so for any other channel to work, that higher authority needs to step in. That's why mostly all these things are channeled there. And it's the right channel as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Miss Debbie.
I think this is a time where we will realize that the Ashanti regional minister was actually doing the right thing, and has purported, the mayor has purported in taking the right steps, which a lot of people felt like he was trying to do something very awkward. But no, that is not the case. this man was actually trying to enforce a law to make Kumasi clean
by flogging.
Aside Greater Accra, yes, by flogging, because we've refused to reason. Can you just imagine selling on pavement that is meant for you and I who are yet to buy our vehicles and we've not bought it yet? It's made for us to walk on, and it has now become a venue for people to sell. And sometimes you see them selling and then you don't even know where to pass. You cannot pass in the middle of the road because it's not safe. And that is the route that has been made for you and I to make our way through. And then these same people goes to sell there, and then when you get there, sometimes you become so stranded, like you don't even know where to pass. And if you're not lucky, you get knocked down by a vehicle. And you see, when you were reading it, there's even a Sub-Regulation Act 117, which states that vendors are not supposed to sell on pavement, but they are doing it. So it means that we have the laws, we have the rules, but they are not working. And who are supposed to ensure that they work? Is it not the government?
Yeah, the government, the Ghana Police Service.
So what are they doing?
So does that boils down to Ghana being a lawless country?
Oh yes, it's true. We are lawless. It's not only about pavement. We have a lot of laws we've enforced, but they are not working. And even if they are working, it is favoring a particular group of people in the country. And I'm very happy that these drivers want to protest because they are suffering. And you know what? Sometimes motor riders, sometimes they pass on pavement roads. It means that the road is so congested that they don't even have a place to pass. And even though it's very wrong for them to pass through the pavement because it's meant for people who are supposed to walk.
Oh, but motor riders also have a path on the pavement.
No.
They have.
No, they don't.
It's I don't know how it is.
Do they?
They have.
Really?
And
yes.
all these paths have been occupied.
Okay, then it has been occupied by these traders, and
they all have,
so the protests they've prompt us that they want to
I even
embark
think
on. It's
the
a
motor
good
riders
thing.
should join.
They should join.
Oh yes, it's a good thing.
The Okada people
If
should
not
join.
for today, I don't know they have a path. I thought
Yeah,
it
they
was
have.
made for only those who are meant to walk.
No, they have.
Because some-
You will see that there is a small lane like that which is also being tarred.
And then meant for them.
Yeah.
And then these people are selling. It's very bad though. You see the reports you guys went to do at Carnation, and a whole reasonable citizen will sit down and tell the government to come and expand it.
It's as well.
Expand it.
Expand the footbridge.
Do you know the footbridge is a death trap?
Yeah, exactly.
Because when you're walking on it, it's shaking.
Yeah.
Just imagine this footbridge. Collapsing. Look at the number of people that will lose their life.
Yeah.
And then you Abaime trim. When I look at it, I was like, God, we don't even need only flogging.
What else?
What do we need?
Shoot and kill.
Well, for
Maybe
me,
we should just get Grader to come and carry them off the place because it's very bad.
But
One, it doesn't speak well of us because we don't only have Ghanaians living in Ghana. We have foreigners living in Ghana, and they take note of everything.
Exactly.
You see them with their cameras; they are taking picture
Yeah. That is where they do a whole lot of documentary about
it.
and then we wake up and we complain about the foreigners not projecting the good side of Africa or whatsoever. I mean, how many good sides do we have? We are so blessed that all these natural disasters don't even happen here. The tsunamis, the earthquake and all. So we are supposed to be the most attractive continent in the entire world. But look at us. We don't even know our left from our... See, this thing, I argued it yesterday. Yesterday, we came to... we were in town making some rounds. And so many things I was looking at. I'll argue it wherever. Unless I get to heaven. And then God actually answers me. He shows me the process with which he himself created blacks. Because I really don't believe.
That's harsh.
I don't believe that the black man was actually created
Oh
by
my
God.
God.
Then by who?
Probably one of the angels.
I'm married.
Have you really thought of the things we do about certain situations? Now, have you thought about it? Even me myself, sometimes I do things and I'm like,
Oh God.
It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. The things that we do as black people, and especially as Ghanaians, right? Any. I feel like sometimes heaven has a dedicated channel for Ghana and Nigeria. So when they have certain moods, when they get into that mood in heaven, is either they watch Ghana or they watch Nigeria.
Oh. Comedy.
But that's what we are. The devil or nature didn't need any distraction or disaster to hit us. We are our own distraction and our own disaster.
Alright.
True. Very, very true. And then we need to work on that because it's very sad. Very, very sad. Blacks. And you know, I kind of believe the fact that they say black, we are black and our mind is black. Oh, it's true.
We have black mentality.
Black mentality. Seriously, our minds are, in fact, our brains are deep black or deep dark. Because sometimes we do certain things that you sit down and then you think and you be like, what is this? A whole pavement. And it's everywhere. Accra is there, Kanishi, not only at Kanishi, Malam Market. And I think some time ago they said an accident happened at Malam Market. Where a vehicle
lost brake. Exactly.
And then a lot of people died. And up till now,
they are still doing it.
And people are selling even under the pavement, which is very wrong. If mistakenly a vehicle, you know, when I'm sometimes I'm like when I'm walking, things come to my mind and I'll be like, you two be thinking about things too much.
Oh, that's where the black mentality comes in.
You see,
I mean, see, you can be there. Just like this accident that we spoke about here, and the same people who witnessed it. Hey, can I be sure from Crawford? I want some Crawford no more. Adechia. My men are not in kind of. And the funniest part of it is this: he or she won't have a problem with where they were selling. She'll have a problem with the driver.
True. All right, so we would call on the MTTD of the Ghana Police Service and also the government to see to it that these directives or regulations are being enforced. If these offenders are supposed to be sanctioned or fined, they should go as far as possible to do that because our lives is at stake. Yeah.
Okay.
So moving on. Mahama pardons Sami Jenfi over dollar gift to Agrada. Whether you like it or not. Okay, I read. President John Dramani Mahama has announced that no further disciplinary action will be taken against the acting CEO of the Ghana Gold Board, Sami Jenfi, following a controversial video that showed him handing an undisclosed amount of US dollars to evangelist Patricia Esiedu Esiama, popularly known as Nana Agrada. The video, which quickly went viral, triggered widespread. Okay. The video So the video, which quickly went viral, triggered widespread public criticism and raised concerns about a possible breach of Ghana's Foreign Exchange Act and the Code of Conduct for Public Appointees. Civil society groups and members of the minority caucus called for Jemfi's dismissal, arguing that his conduct undermined public trust and violated the standards expected of a government official. However, President Mahama has decided to accept Mr. Jemfi's public apology and bring the matter to a close with a stern warning. Minister of Government Communications Felix Kwachi Ofosu conveyed the president's position at a press briefing, stating that President Mahama has accepted apology from Sammy Jemfi. He added that according to the president, while the incident is regrettable, no further action will be taken. However, a firm warning has been issued to Mr. Jemfi and all public appointees to strictly adhere to the code of conduct and act at all times in a manner that upholds public confidence. So this brings me to the code of conduct. And in the code of conduct, it was stated that no public official is supposed to receive a gift. And even at that, it has a limit. You can receive a gift, but it shouldn't exceed 20,000 Ghana cedis. But giving out a gift, it's not in the code of conduct that it's wrong. So people are saying President Mahama should ensure that the code of conduct he brought out should be used against Sammy Jemfi. But now he has accepted this apology. So in a way, I wouldn't start with you. I started Miss Debbie. In a way, do you think the code of conduct has been violated in any way?
Well, the code of conduct hasn't been violated, because you can receive a gift, but the gift you are receiving should not exceed 20,000, right? And then
it's not like it shouldn't exceed it. Once it's exceeded, you need to declare it.
Yes, you need to declare it. And then it's not also stated in the code of conduct that you cannot receive a gift. But this is it. You see, when you become so prominent, or you are holding a public office, or you are being given a position, you are supposed to be careful with the kind of things you do. I mean, we are living our normal life, right? But just imagine that you become so known to the world. I mean, you become so prominent. There are certain things you won't do. There are certain vendors you won't go to. It's not as if it's pride. But you see, you used to buy cocoa and co say at your normal location. When you get a position that maybe you have a very big, like, you become so prominent, you wouldn't go there again, not because you have pride in you, but because you want to maintain certain standard. So with Sammy Jemfi's case, you see, it's not bad at all to give out. It's not bad to give money. But as a high official, you know the country in which we are. Even if the money is not from the coffers of the state, we have people who say that the money is from the coffers of the state. And we've seen the minority even coming out to call for his suspension. Because some people are thinking that because he's the acting chief executive of Gold Board, and Gold Board has to do with money, and you know gold is money. So some may feel like since they've appointed you as an acting chief executive for that Gold Board, you started sharing the money, you see, which is not so. So you can give out the money, but then you should know where to give that particular money. So with President Mahama pardoning him, I wasn't surprised. No, I was part of the people that actually hit on him, right? I know, but then within me, I know President Mahama is not going to sack him. I know, and even
but does this cause for him to be sacked?
No, this is not a call for him to be sacked, because then they have to revise what they've written down as a code of conduct, because it's not stated in the code of conduct that you cannot gift out. But if they want to include that, then they have to go and review it and then add what they want to add and subtract what they want to subtract. And even yesterday, Felix Kwache, he was like, after President Mahama has pardoned him, he also gave out a directive that he should be cautious. And since he's a public official and a notable figure, he should be careful with, the way he does his things, you see. So that was what I started from. You are living a normal life. I won't say that Sami Jemfi doesn't have dollars before he was appointed as an acting chief executive. He has money. Look at him. Looking at him, you could see that he's a work in progress. Like, he has the money already. It's not a position given him that has made him who he is today. So he can give her the money, but be careful. And the person you are giving the money to, you know her. That woman is not a person that will keep quiet. He will definitely flout it on social media for people to see that at least Sami Jemfi has given me money. So you need to be careful, because out there, you don't know people who are secretly vying to occupy your position. So if you don't put things in order and then you allow yourself, you will see that there will be the same people that will push you out because they want the same opportunity. Right. So for what President Mahama did, for me, it's in the right direction.
All right. So, Mr. Omari, before you give your overview on this, people have gone as far as sending a petition to Shraj to make sure that they investigate him in regards to corruption. Yeah. Do you think it's needed, or do you think it's necessary?
It's not necessary.
Right.
And even with the petition submitted for his whatsoever, the person has withdrawn that petition yesterday. But see, what I make of this, and especially from the presidency, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, is how he has stood grounds. He didn't fall for the pressure of the public. I like that. Yeah. If you have a president who stands by principles, not by public opinions per se, that is a good call. He has shut down the entire conversation about this thing. Now, whosoever wanted to do propaganda with it, you have nothing to do about it again. Right from the onset, everything reported about this issue was a wrong. It was a wrong. Sami never violated any code of conduct. He never violated any law in the constitution. All he did was to be a normal human being. Show kindness. That is all. We can't actually tell him where and when to gift somebody, or where and when to be kind. We can't. It is up to his own discretion that, okay, now I'm in public office. Let me just see. Sometimes we complain. They say position. This is some of the reasons why. Because when they get there and they still want to relate to us, just as they've always been, then we flout it. We flout that privilege that we are having with them now. So I wouldn't blame them from now onwards. I won't.
There will be this kind of limit.
And they should be. Power. And so all we need from them is to do what they are doing. Yesterday we saw Sami Jemfi's gold board arresting yes. That is what we put him in that position for. I'm okay with that. Woo krana on fewer onye bonintiawo, because ome few emwa na chire won ko gina baby meka say oman sika no de ya ne ese menye wu a won so oman sika na eku.
Okay, so with this dollar use, we all are testament that the government is trying their possible best to stabilize the cedi. Now, people are saying, as a government official, you know what the government is going through. Why then do you still have dollars? Because we are trying our possible best to make sure that the cedi is stabilized. But you still have dollars in your possession. We are not saying dollar possession or you using dollar is wrong, but at least as a government official, you need to be considerate.
And that's the right word you've used. Considerate. That is
so
all
he's not mandated.
He's not.
Oh, okay.
Emra bi eni Ghana echere se wontumi nkuta dollars. Ghana ni yedi pounds. Pounds na ni yedi wo Ghana. Ansa ni yes somebody cedis. All that we are talking about here is just because we realize that making transactions in dollars is one of the factors that is weakening our own currency. So the directive given is that no business should make transactions in dollars, and that is fine. Sami ankoye transaction in dollars, and yene die no turn no so turn in dollars, and ane car no so turn in dollars. He's an international figure now. He has always been an international figure. Sami is an entrepreneur. Into your two kwan say. So him having dollars on him, it's not a crime or a scandal. It's not. So the people trying to agitate or infuriate the vulnerable with this session of it, it won't be white, it won't wash. We know what is supposed to be done and what is not supposed to be done. And if Sami had done the wrong thing, we would have gone for his neck.
Okay.
I would have led the pack, but he didn't.
Who did that?
He didn't. See, some experts are even saying that the apology wasn't even needed. But the only reason why I felt okay, he should apologize, was to the grassroots who felt that the person you gave the money to actually campaigned against us.
Exactly.
That is all. Aside that, on the Obiaka, on your Obiaboni, on Fumo Merebia or Minimo, I like President Mahama's stance on this because it has collapsed any agenda they wanted to project with this thing. What we should be focusing on is what is gold boarded yesterday. They arrested gold smugglers. For so many years now, you have to say gold smugglers. So it's been going on and we haven't been paying attention to. So if the gold board is going to be able to do these things, Charlie, kudos to Sami Jemfi and his team.
All right. So as Omari said, it's good that President Mahama has silenced, should I say, naysayers. Yeah. But we pray and hope that minority in Parliament will not hold a press conference again in regards to this, or they will not schedule a protest. In regards to this. So moving to our last story for today, GNAT urges GES to prioritize transfers for female teachers in rural areas. The Greater Accra Regional Chair of the Ghana National Association of Teachers, Sarah Oye Oredu, has urged the Ghana Education Service to address persistent challenges faced by female teachers seeking transfers from rural areas. Her appeal comes on the back of growing concerns from female educators who struggle to secure transfers to other regions in order to reunite with their families. Some also endure long commutes daily, affecting their work and well-being. Speaking at the Accra Metro West Roundabout Conference on Wednesday, May 14th, Madam Sarah noted that despite assurances from officials at the district level, some directors within their jurisdiction are reluctant to release the teachers. She cited the enforcement of the 3-year mandatory service requirement as a major obstacle. Some have served 2 years, but because of marriage, they need to be transferred to join their partners, and the director has to help them. Some are also pursuing higher education, and then commuting from rural areas to the urban centers becomes a problem. So we are pleading with the director that ladies with such peculiar issues should be helped to get transfers to the cities, she said. She also commended the government initiative to provide allowances to teachers in rural areas as a motivation strategy and urged for the speedy implementation of the process. We are talking about the allowances for the teachers in the rural areas. The union has taken it up, and we are also happy the current government has taken it up because it is a problem. If you ask the teachers to go to the rural areas to go and teach, they refuse because of the circumstances there.
Okay.
And it's true.
What is true?
Even not in regards to ladies per se, but when it comes even male teachers, some of them are not willing to go to these rural areas to teach. As at now, our urban sector is digitalized. Our urban sector, even though we are still developing, but in a way, I'll say we are 90% developed. Where certain things here in the city, back in the rural areas, they don't have it. So why should I leave the comfort? Let's put passion aside. Why should I leave the comfort of my home with a comfortable bed, a comfortable shelter, and exactly 24/7 electricity? Then I leave that because of passion, excuse me to say, a place which is not even presentable. Who, as a government official, you wouldn't be okay with it. So, with what she's saying, they should really prioritize transfers, especially for female in the rural areas. Do you think it's?
Yeah, and as you rightfully put it shouldn't be limited to females. That is where the problem is. Sometimes when we are dealing with these things,
but most of the times females are really posted to rural areas.
No.
Really?
The males,
males are
males too,
more.
but it's not that dominant.
The males are more. Just that with regular. That's the thing. I say. When I bear man, so they all complain inside wine. This is a no. It's two things. Government should invest in these areas, develop there. If not, the place should be rotational. ABR, we first post in the other over 2 or 4, 2 years, maximum 2 years. Fine. You depend free work. Next person away we school our best start say na brabo. No so far no go to. Because these people have lived most of their lives with a certain comfort.
Yeah.
With certain there is no pain. There is no reward in suffering. I will tell you.
Hard work peace.
Hard work is not suffering.
Okay.
Hard work is not suffering. Who enjoys much more in Ghana here right now than the president?
You are suffering for the president.
But what do we call him in the past 4 months? Oh, he's a hard-working president. He's not suffering. He's hard-working, but he's enjoying comfort. And no, sorry, so episode 2 jet but he's hard-working. If we really say, let's pay attention to basic things in this country. Education, most of these places they post these people to lights credit anymore. I'm bet charge your phone. I just was free was different town or something, which is not fair. Nipane kodawa acha a year or 2. My own free ho na nipa fofora ono so be start teaching onko experience bi. If that's how so monko develop one or monko de bi adia obi enu a was say koto no to one ya abandon no na omo pe transfer ya ma delay omo sa.
Right.
So I mean it's something that they should look at it. Both ends, not just females.
All right.
Yeah.
Miss Debbie.
We are not paying much attention to the rural areas, and it's very sad. You know, they are also part of Ghana. They are part of the country, but it looks as if we've sidelined them, and then we develop only the urban areas. And that is why this place is so flooded with people, and then the settlements, everything is becoming so expensive here because they don't want to stay. Everyone wants to come to Accra. Everyone wants to come to Accra because they feel like this is the place they can earn a living. They are coming for greener pastures here, but it's not so. So some of them come here and then they become stranded, and then they are living on the street, and then we have a lot of street children walking about. So with this, when it comes to education, we have to pay attention to it. Not only with the education sector, even nurses. Some don't want to go there. They don't. Even me, if you post me there, I will do retransfer. Oh, it's true. Because you're going to a community, no light, and you have to charge your phones. And then when it comes to teachers, there is this thing they prepare. Oh,
assessment.
No assessment. Oh, there is this thing they prepare to go and teach. Like you prepare what you teach for maybe the semester or maybe for the week.
It's in a form of a notebook.
In a form of a notebook, then they write. I've forgotten. And some of these things, your textbooks alone cannot help you. You have to go online, do research. Take definitions from here and here, join it together, form your own definition. Because mind you, the rural areas you are teaching, those students are not, you get it, like when it comes to the urban areas. So you have to find simple English that they can read and understand. And with no electricity, how do you want them to do all this research and things? And it makes education very difficult. Recently, I saw Joy News doing a documentary in some parts of the northern region, where from class 1 to class 8, it is only one madam and a head teacher that is teaching. Why? Because even the head teacher lives in Tamale, and then he has to take a vehicle like from Tamale to somewhere in the eastern region. From Tamale to, let's say, Boku, like deep, you have to alight, take another vehicle before you get to the place. And no one is willing to teach. And even if you listen to the English these students are speaking, if you're a teacher, you will get frustrated. Trust me. You have to speak their language for them to understand. So they have to pay attention to that. And it's not only about the females. The males too are part. Oh, at least they are going through a lot. It's not only female. When it has to do with gender issues, yes, humiliation and abuse and they are going through a lot. So please, Madam Marie is going through a lot. So please.
So this is where gender equality comes in. And in as much as gender equality is very important, we should make sure that men are also treated fairly as how women are treated. As she said, when it comes to abuse, the number one people they think about is women, which is very wrong. So I'll say some 50% of men go through abuse, but they are just quiet, all in the name of I'm a man. When I go and talk about it, people wouldn't believe. People would be like, "This and this and exactly." All right, so this is where we end today's news headlines live on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Up next, we have the Beach Grill.
Good morning and many thanks for joining me again on the Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that concerns the state. Now, early this morning I came across something that saddened my heart. Let's read this together. Over 14,000 girls impregnated in Borno region. So the Borno region recorded 14,877 teenage pregnancies from 2021 to 2024. The Deputy Director of Nursing Service Public Health at the Borno Regional Directorate of Health has issued. She said the region also recorded 1,188 cases of abortion within the same period, saying the pregnancies and the abortions were recorded among girls between 15 and 19 years. Now, she spoke at a stakeholders meeting on the African Vaccination Week and the Child Health Promotion Week organized by the Borno Regional Directorate of Health in Sunyanin. So in a breakdown, a total of 3,999 pregnancies and 388 cases of abortions were recorded in 2021, and then 4,508 pregnancies and 351 abortions in 2022, as well as 3,492 pregnancies with 217 abortions in 2024 and 3,328 pregnancies and 282 abortions in 2024. This is very sad. 14,000 teenagers at the age of 15 between 15 and 19 years, within a pace of a year, are pregnant. And then I feel like we have been quiet for a very long time now on creating awareness on teenage pregnancy. Because if a region, this is one regional, and I can assure you that this is equally happening in other regions as well. And if these remaining regions wants to bring the record of teenage pregnancies, then we'll be counting in millions. Because if 14,000 teenagers should get pregnant within a pace of a year, then it means we have a lot of things to do when it comes to handling teenagers. And this is where the gender and social protections comes in. Minister of Gender and Social Protection, please, you have a role to play. It's not only about defending cases of abuse or gender equality, but these issues as well, bringing up programs, policies that will ensure the safety of these teenagers, creating the awareness. And you see, it's very, very sad when you see young teenagers. I wouldn't even go far. A place I know, which I won't even mention name, you see small girls meant to be in classrooms, in school uniforms, heading into a hotel, a guest room, with someone old enough to be their father. This child was supposed to be in class studying. She's now in a bedroom learning sexology instead of studying in the classroom. And this has amount to rock. See, I don't know whether you are paying the way I'm paying right now. 14,000 is not something we should play about. So are we saying that these children are not being educated enough? And please, in as much as the Minister of Social and Gender has a role to play, the parents, our parents, please, you also have a role to play in the lives of these teenagers. I can remember growing up, your mother will call you down. Sometimes she'll be asking you certain questions that are so annoying, but you have to answer. And they've set rules and regulations. You can't go out after 9. You can't go out after 9. Even if you go out as early as 8 a.m. in the morning, and you are coming back home as late as 8:30 p.m. to 9, you will be questioned. And you have in mind that about your budget. But of late, it's not like that. Some of these parents do not care. And sometimes I don't blame these teenagers, because when you sit down to communicate with them, you will get to know that some parents push them into it. You will hear a whole mother telling her child, Kodis and because the woman is so lazy to get herself, doing something to help the kids. And some of these children are so determined to go to school. And the only way they can fend for themselves is to engage themselves in certain acts that, will bring them money for feeding, for books, and for other stuffs. And I can remember those days, your parents are very, they monitor you to the extent that they know all your friends. They know the kind of friends you move out with. And then they'll be questioning, hey, this person, I don't like the way you are working with her. And for uncle see baby. Immediately they see a red flag, they start questioning you about it. But now it's not like that. You see teenagers working with smokers, weed smokers, indulging in other, acts that are so bad. And then it corrupts their minds and everything. And then we have 14,000. 14 good thousand. And these teenagers, they are not, they don't have a work to do. Teenagers who are not employed and they are getting pregnant. Maybe you don't know it's adding burden to the country. Because at the end of the day, they are going to give birth to this child. And then the child will become wayward. You don't have money to cater for this child. And then the only thing you can see, that is why we have a lot of street children, not as if they don't have a home to stay. But so the only place they can hide is on the streets. And we don't say anything about it, like we are just quiet. And then we keep quiet. And I also know of hotels and, guest house that when you bring a girl that is beyond age, you will be sacked. But now it's not like that. We are so much concerned about our money, and then they bring underage 14, 13, 12 years. Please, let's create awareness. Let's bring us policy on education, prevention of teenage pregnancies, the causes, the preventive measures, and we should talk to the parents as well. I know the economy is hard, but please get yourself doing something
this
as
a
parent,
show,
and then you help the kids.
Companion.
You brought them to this world. They were there. They were with God in a safe place. You brought them. They didn't ask you. So long as you've birthed them, you have to bear it. You have to bear the consequences of making sure that they are safe, of making sure that they are so comfortable, providing them the necessary needs, and not allowing them on the street. Please, our parents, we are pleading with you. Those parents that pushes their word into the rooms of men just to get food, at the end of the day, they will bring back another award, another certificate, and that certificate will be the pregnancy. Please, we are pleading with you. Minister for Gender and Social Protection, please, you have a lot of work to do. As I said, it's not only about dealing with cases that has to do with abuse, female abuse, child abuse, and whatever it is, but also bringing out educational programs to educate these children and talking to their parents. And please, to the teenagers, be mindful with the kind of people you walk with, the kind of friends you associate with. Please, your future is bright. 14,000. These people, they are the futures of this country, and now they've now become a liability. Just imagine, within a pace of 5 years, we'll be getting like a kekako in the billions. And where are we getting to? So please, let's take this as a serious issue and deal with it. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Grill.
Thank you for making time with us on Debbie's Grill. People, students, they are not in class. They are in bedroom studying sexology. And then I am a All right, so this is where we end the first segment of our news review live on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Up next, we have the morning news with Miss Debbie Adoso.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
Hello Ghana, hello worldwide, I'm level Bea. Now listen, every Tuesday and Friday, beyond the time it's going to carry bro. Our Ghana Talks Radio, 7 p.m. sharp. Now Tuesday, we're gonna talk about our culture, our history. Matuni ding setete abako sem. Now on the Friday, you bars on bars. You better rap, you better say it. No artists go join me in the studio. We're gonna discuss about music and business. Konya. Oh, you singer and now you rapper, you think say you get bars. You go fi spit fire now. Listen, make you join me with studios. Our Ghana Talks Radio and yes say then our day. Me say download the Ghana Talks Radio app no. Our Play Store and the App Store. Na tune in yes say this what you see baba live on Facebook, ko Instagram, any Ghana Talks Radio page and so now listen. Ebe your fire. 1 year. Konya. Wading. Jajan.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Good morning and welcome to the morning news broadcast on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up, President Mahama pardons Sami Jemfi after apology over dollar gift scandal. Food and Drugs Board Authority cautions defaulters of unapproved advertisement to get 25 years jail term. Member of Parliament for Akim Oda blows lead of Galamsey involvement of municipal chief executives. IGP Tete Yohonu praise for strategic plans in the fight against Galamsey. These and many more coming up shortly in business, sports and showbiz. Do stay with me. The presidency has officially pardoned the acting chief executive officer of Gold Board, Samuel Jemfi, following a high-level meeting with government officials regarding his involvement in the controversial dollar gift to social media personality Patricia Siedua, known as Agrada. Spokesperson for President John Dramani Mahama, Mr. Felix Kwachi Ofosu, confirmed that Mr. Jemfi's public apology has been accepted. He further stated that the president has cautioned Mr. Jemfi to be more measured in his conduct moving forward. The president acknowledges his remorse and had advised him to exercise greater discretion in the future, he stated.
In the last few days, there has been some matters relating to the acting chief executive officer of the Gold Board, Mr. Sami Jemfi, regarding a video that emerged of some interaction with Agrada. You would recall that in the immediate aftermath of the emergence of the video, Mr. Sami Jemfi promptly issued an apology in which he expressed regret over the matter and took on board public concerns raised over same. A day after that, the chief of staff summoned him to the presidency to learn about what transpired. The invitation was honored by Mr. Sami Jemfi. He indicated to the chief of staff what his side of the story is, what explanation there is for what we all saw in the video. At the time, President Mama was out of the country, so he had to be briefed on the discussions held with Mr. Sami Jemfi by the chief of staff, and he has been briefed. Now, the view is that to begin with, the presidency acknowledges Mr. Sami Jemfi's immediate act of contrition and the acknowledgement of the need to express regret over that incident. So that apology has been taken on board. You do recall that when President Obama launched the Code of Conduct, he said that one of the remedies for any potential breach was a public apology. He also said one of the potential remedies was a caution from the highest levels of government. After the interaction with the chief of staff cautioned him, having acknowledged the apology he made, he cautioned him and impressed upon him to take on board public sentiment and act in ways that reflect public expectation. The chief of staff also took the opportunity to reissue.
You heard from the spokesperson for President John Dramani Mahama, Felix Kwachi. Moving on, Food and Drugs Board Authority has cautioned the faulters of unapproved advertisement to face 25 years jail term. According to the Food and Drugs Board Authority's guidelines, the organization regulates prescription drugs advertisement to ensure they are accurate and provide a fair balance of benefits and risk. They encourage to run corrective advertisements to address misinformation.
Section 77, Section 110, any import Section 142, any naye sanctions, so this not been so flout, sa in Shayana, your punitive measures and Casa Ewo, Bako ye prosecute too. A boon so ye be impose administrative fines, also. Na ye dikama amount for assessors, so for Public Health Act, Neswa, a ye papa mudena will be open so to Nancy, and run no very punitive measures. For example, in no Asia, you can judge in Bettinyama a minimum of 15 years and a maximum of 25 years jail term. A banisika sam to swear and ye is in and ye omo advertise or radio ni TV so any media events a print spend social media would be our better. Sabe o phone camera so say we live okay can claims that FDA into mu we dey also where your small business FDA will boni ni dey kese the mass small any big businesses integral ya started their friend progressive licensing scheme will say oh we juma dey she talk it to ebi so bolo ki to ebi de kitu abaye wo gidie say first of all nipa na e di ntie so akra wo say hote afensi o gidie say we juma na betime tumpon ntie wo regulatory structures wo e beboa ama e ba ne license nkra nya sika kese na nya adaje say sika kitu as small as 150 Ghana cedis e ba no registration ye won hye ye ma o ade mu odenden dia wontimi meet e friend progressive licensing scheme.
And that was a directive from the Food and Drugs Board Authority. Away from that, Member of Parliament for the Akimoda constituency, Alexander Kwesi Akwa, alleged most government appointees are Galamsey operators. According to him, some government appointees prioritize personal gains over their roles in regulating and monitoring activities within their district. He emphasized that appointees with vested interest in Galamsey might not effectively implement policies aimed at curbing illegal mining. In addition, he said municipal chief executives and district chief executives involved in Galamsey erode trust in local governance and the government's ability to enforce laws and regulations.
Constituency Achimda, Manfwa A2 Galamsey with impunity just because a buy for Fraba, na a buy no party for the say almost also with the DB. 80 the Omadi say no and nobody badama I prove say yeah fight it Galamsey ya yeah Galamsey no yeah fire no keke eda yedeko a action and it's ubehunu say amafo ejaye na no me constituent me friend the constituent back or say the ope mason and a libra cry watch him down unya because ubia eko Galamsey because I free, I have full. It will be a yebi. Now, the minister did me here, ya say, Omet na live TV, so I say open press conference, na unsu, etajajo. As soon as you bet me so abuano. But yam fed you man sending yam twaba ma womo say, Omesu in Chile. The idea ye no. Gather for say yen ye, it will pabo ye no. Obojitu muso mbeye bana brosa. Tika sabri die. Ye ngbu anse ka yensuo no. Eniate. Eju kwachi di pa ba ku mienu miensa na de be kire yen, e de betu newspaper mu. Na nsuo no aye call. And I can tell you emphatically, nipa ye appoint you dodo as DCs near the dodo na unknown Galamsey people. Our baby, dodo na no unknown Galamsey people. And so President Aka said,
"No, wo mpesua so hono no obi na o ye Galamsey I appointing as DC and
I am in Peswaso. Me Peswaso, they are pointing on me who so Galamsey. But me patch the on my appoint from Dudo.
I would need
to baby to say Akrofum, the party chairman, on my appointments on yet MCU said DC, you know. Or tip. All cancers a fee. A brand general say friend was say that is all your galamsey near the all cancers a fee. I'm sure say on social media be any.
Joker as a fin that I confirm say all your galamsey now.
Oh, he said no, let me just say this with their known people. They are known galamseyers. Galamsey for no fee having been on by you.
And that was the Member of Parliament for Akim Oda. In other stories, a communication team member of the National Democratic Congress, Bernard Enim Pessie, has commended Inspector General of Police Christian Tete Yohonu for his effort in combating illegal mining. Mr. Enim believes the IGP has taken significant steps to intensify the fight against galamsey, including reshuffling 34 police commanders in regions heavily affected by illegal mining. He stressed that the reshuffle among police personnel brought new perspectives and strategies to tackle the galamsey menace. The IGP's effort, he expressed, is essential to monitor the effectiveness of critical measures in addressing the issue.
When you more IGP, that you know abaso papa. Na Ghana Police Service na won kon dosen ko wonsa be kan wonsa ntimi anka ye wa ha and then Ghana Police for IGP ye move away from say ye chukelewele ye na mountain so ye neme bia enka police adwuma ho IGP a ote operations ase ora ye hunu yankopon hira eno bi no mebo president Mahama abaso pa say wan hwe political colors anka se obi a abangde da obi de ne koye deputy IGP as abankro na fa kwam so di private na ne mandate auditions as onye ho djuma wantimi anye da e ben na breso police apma afa ne ntama pefre bio am yenye djumedi a etese wodi ne ho so mfa so IGP enne unsa amanebo ehun de ngomo yo enne police fo amanebo I want your man for dinky town also. A flow smoothly. Baby, as I say, where your operation be na or baby bomb man for money. Into no, I can't man from the police will not boom. Young ones say, where your young partners, where you're in Yanum. Till see who won't say, can no baby for fra. 1 year, a man from Tem Quang now, worry pa. A bampa paba. Into undefended galamsey miners. Only fendo wanga was saying su and young quibri to bio. Nti IGP enya kwan se obeye adwuma se wo ye. Abosoma bien ene kakrani. Galamsey 99 edokron akron. Nipa won akire won over 200 foreign nationals won. Ni bi abesenko na yenten se abiom. And make galamsey kono your police will embrace say your magno ekokese a threat to national security. It's an amount BS what to worry to even now who can want them say IGP the innovation for sang by you say yeah say you better rotate regional commanders. So what try be chepe e be do be no na service be nipa ho ade na oba mu fi ase ego woni na bi ho ya bi nipa foforo ko ho a obepese obeye bibi ebe sen ni a nipa ofi ho no eye enti eno me ko super brain enya won and don't work because you war police sahene a we jatum so bebo.
In an attempt to end illegal gold smuggling, spokesperson of the Ghana Gold Board, Prince Minka, has issued a stern warning to individuals and entities engaged in illegal smuggling of gold out of the country. He affirmed the commitment of Gold Board to curb illegal gold export and tighten control over the mineral trade. Mr. Prince emphasized that foreigners caught trading gold illegally will face prosecution and potential imprisonment. In addition, he said the Ghana Gold Board may increase surveillance and monitoring to prevent illegal gold trading activities. This was after 3 foreign nationals were arrested at Inyinam in the eastern region for attempted gold smuggling.
Latest bust. In fact, the details are a bit sketchy. I'm yet to get briefing on whether there were local collaborators. But what I know with regards to the first instance is that the local collaborator, Salifu, is also facing the law. And in due course will come out and will speak forcefully on this particular matter. But we are again using this opportunity to sound the alarm that any foreigner caught within the local gold trading industry will not be let go just like that. It will not be business as usual. No kid's glove. And we are going to go all out and ensuring that the laws of Ghana work. Because we want to maximize national benefits from our gold. That's the whole idea. We don't want foreign players taking undue advantage of the industry. And that is what has affected the country for far too long.
You heard from the spokesperson of Gold Board, Prince Menka. Now in politics, Member of Parliament for Gomoa Central, Kwame Asari Obeng, called for the New Patriotic Party national executives to resign over their defeat in the 2024 election. In an interview, he said the party's leadership failed to engage with grassroots members whilst ignoring their concerns and sentiment. He expressed that as an evidence in the party's primary, where the imposition of candidates and lack of internal democracy led to discontent among members. He reflects on the party's leadership style, communication approach, and policy decisions as a focused area for improvement. To regain the trust of voters, he urged the New Patriotic Party to adopt people-centered policies and engage in genuine dialogue with citizens and stakeholders.
Because still na MPP for monte Ghana for us. Ghana for ekuri ebejina MPP for any. MPP for I will say snasi. No sheda understand Ghana for. Because from the constituency me BT omo. No me say diagro. Na me general secretary intimaba me be come we be kan den. We kono woni mo chain Ghana no akọ out of a set akọ nanim dodo. Omo da so omochi. They have lost touch with the system and the way na nipa no air drain no. Ghana say omo bebre na ye me namfofo. And I mean we say madam for back on press conference obobo meeting but we do stage bi bibia na obeso so. Enti no menso ye mfa san company di. We're making mistakes along the line, but also to me too awful. But people like that, you know, now would you do party name still? How do you want to rebrand, rebuild with attitude? Now, because we say, you know, how do you rebuild a whole party with this attitude? With the same people that gave you 38. Kasa what about the party kakrakase ya coalition? Enya 38%. Unko shed them. Any serious party in any part of the world, the leadership will apologize to the party and take the blame. The worst result in the history of Ghana battle. Your mama nya 44. You say worry. You dey na. We say when you say 38 or say 40 na mo kodase. Instead of say we bet nasi, no catch Ghana for say Ghana for. Ebesramu ye ba na ya be pamo chew enyoma bebre na mo kan ye ntie afi ne yate ase se ye nya ho kwan a ye be correct enyoma mo the same attitude, arrogance that whole national executives obi obenya akukudru agina se ye nto abama no na nipa no ya me born different. Or saying about this time, Omunyina resigning. Omunyina resigning na party no mu ada ho. Bon say party no be home.
Meanwhile, the opposition New Patriotic Party has cautioned members to desist from canvassing for votes before the official processes are announced for internal election. A statement issued by the New Patriotic Party General Secretary Justin Kodia Frimpong said the party leadership wishes to bring to the attention of all members and prospective aspirants at various levels that until official nominations are duly opened, no individual is permitted to engage party executives in any form of soliciting support for internal positions. The release explained that the directive was in line with the New Patriotic Party's commitment to fairness in the administration of its internal electoral processes. Premature engagements not only undermine the authority of the party's organs but also risk disrupting the careful and strategic effort currently underway to reposition the party for victory in the 2028 general election, the party stressed. In business, the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry and various trade associations have reached an agreement to significantly reduce the prices of finished goods over the next 2 months, provided the Ghana cedi maintains its favorable performance against the US dollar and other major international currencies. The consensus was reached during a meeting held on May 14th. Following the discussion, the Minister, Elizabeth Ofosu-Adjare, announced the positive outcome, stating the participating associations have agreed to implement price reduction. This agreement follows some agencies already beginning to lower charges in response to the cedi's appreciation. Addressing journalists after the meeting, Ms. Ofosu-Adjare expressed optimism about the negotiations' result and their potential positive impacts on the economy. She clarified the government's role in the process, stating, "We have indicated that we do not have the power to reduce prices, but all that we have as government is to negotiate to get the traders to bring down prices," she said. The minister was pleased to report that some direct importers have already initiated price reductions, with others also committing to follow suit. She acknowledged hearing concerns from the Ghana Union of Traders Association during the meeting, indicating a dialogue where the government also presented its demands. Ms. Ofosu-Adjare anticipates the impact of these price reductions, stating from the port will be felt by consumers in approximately 2 months or within 60 days as existing stocks are depleted. The meeting saw the participation of key trade bodies, including the Ghana Union of Traders Association, the Association of Ghana Industry, and the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, among others. In related developments, President of GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obin, has given assurance of the association's commitment to complying with all agreements reached during the meeting. To sports, Ghana's black satellite forward Abdul Hakim Sulemana has set his sights on being his own man by wanting to go higher than his war-acclaimed brother Kalmadin Sulemana. Kalmadin Sulemana, the older brother of Hakim, is with English Premier League outfit after starring in the French League with Stade Reims, and is regarded as one of the talented wingers in world football. Speaking in an interview, he said the under-20 championship at the quarter-final stage, Hakim is looking to take the next step in his career by distinguishing himself from his brother. He, Kalmadin, set the standard, but I want to go higher. We all played football in the compound, in the street. Kalmadin always pushed me. I admire what he has achieved, but I want to be known for my own journey, he stated. Hakim Sulemana won 2 Man of the Match awards in the tournament against DR Congo and Egypt. He scored a late penalty to send the game against Egypt to extra time, but Ghana lost 5-4 in the penalty shootout to miss out on making it to the semi-finals and automatically qualifying to the under 2025 World Cup. And showbiz prince Kojo Hilton, a Pan-African art ambassador, has advocated for the establishment of dedicated visual arts colleges across the 16 regions of the country. He is a celebrated production designer, special effects artist, visual arts advocate, and founder of Hillwood Studio, as well as the driving force behind the Visual Arts Student Empowerment Project. In a press statement, he highlighted the lack of structured institutions for senior high school graduates who wish to pursue visual arts professionally but may not follow the conventional university pathway. The ambassador referenced the now defunct Ghana College of Art and Design, once a cradle of many of Ghana's most accomplished artists, as a prime example of what is missing in the current educational landscape. We must revive and expand such institutions across the country, he urged, adding that our young talent need a pathway to grow their skills. Meanwhile, Ablajifa Gomashi, the Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, on May 8th held a National Creative Arts Dialogue in Accra with executives of all recognized associations, unions within Ghana's creative art industry. The dialogue offered a raw and strategic platform for stakeholders to share the most pressing challenges across sectors and propose viable solutions. As a representative of the visual art domain and former chairman of the Ghana Association of Visual Arts in Greater Accra, Kojo Hilton used the platform to amplify the need for formal institutional training colleges. According to him, he has prepared a well-structured project proposal detailing the roadmap for establishing regional visual arts colleges and building capacity within the sector. The proposal, he noted, grounded in the success of VASEP and years of industry insight, will be officially presented to the sector minister next week for consideration and possible government support. Kojo Hilton noted that his efforts have created visible results. We are foundational to every visual layer of creative production, yet consistently under-prioritized. Now is the time to change that narrative, the art ambassador reiterated. As Ghana's Pan-African Arts Ambassador, he has pledged his continuous role to lead capacity-building efforts and promote artistic excellence across the continent. And that's how we end it on the morning news broadcast. Thank you so much for making time with me. Don't forget to log on to www.GhanaTalksRadio.com, as well as logging on to all social media handles at GhanaTalksRadio.com for more news updates. My name is Deborah Adol, so do have a blessed morning.
Ghana Talks Radio, #1.
Hello Ghana, hello worldwide, I'm level band. Now listen, every Tuesday and Friday, beyond the time it's going to carry bro. Our Ghana Talks Radio, 7 p.m. sharp. Now Tuesday, we're gonna talk about our culture, our history. Matuni ding setete abakwa sem. Now on the Friday, you bars on bars. You better rap, you better say it. No artists go join me in the studio. We're gonna discuss about music and business. Or you singer and now you rapper, you think say you get bars, you go fi spit fire. Now listen, make you join me with studios. Our Ghana Talks Radio and you say then our day. Me say download the Ghana Talks Radio app no, our Play Store and the App Store. Na tune in and say this what you see baba live on Facebook, go Instagram, any Ghana Talks Radio page and so now listen. Ebe your fire. 1 year, Konya, Wading, Jajan.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
Hello Ghana, hello worldwide, I'm level band. Now listen, every Tuesday and Friday, beyond the time it's going to carry bro. Our Ghana Talks Radio, 7 p.m. sharp. Now Tuesday, we're gonna talk about our culture, our history. Matuni ding setete abako sem. Now on the Friday, you bars on bars. You better rap, you better say it. No artists go join me in the studio. We're gonna discuss about music and business. Or you singer and now you rapper, you think say you get bars. You go fi spit fire now. Listen, make you join me with studios. Our Ghana Talks Radio and you say then our day. Me say download the Ghana Talks Radio app no. Our Play Store and the App Store. Not tune in and say this is what you see. Baba live on Facebook, go Intakra, any Ghana Talks Radio page in this. So now listen. Ebe your fire. 1 year, Konya, Wading, Jajan.
It's another beautiful morning on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. I'm back again here after the newspaper review with the ladies. You're saying about okay. It's a Thursday edition, and you know Thursdays we have our regular, the most insightful Mr. Dubik Stevens holding down the conversation with us to bring us some insightful, educative elaborations on the topics that we will be treating today. Mr. Steve, Mr. Dubik, Ganib, Steven. I think this is the first time I've mentioned the Ganib on the show. Steven Friday.
Steven Friday.
This boy is but for he's a man. He's a man.
So what have you done?
Hey.
How many Stevens?
Show you shade.
How many Stevens have you met?
But today I'm wearing a new haircut. Nobody has said anything.
Hey.
the problem is that we can't differentiate the hair from the head.
Whatever you want to say, see. No, whatever she wants to say, she can say. I can see her from here, you know. I can see her from here. I can see you.
When he said, oh, but you look nice, yeah.
Look at his outfit. Look at his.
Today is a full-blown Sakura, right?
Yeah.
So
no, but
we have problems with Sakura men in this country.
Yeah.
For some past experience in Tino.
But his is not Sakura.
So you cannot compare to the other ones.
Which other ones?
The other ones you all know. The ones we were about to say. You want me to tell you that?
Steve.
Yes, sir.
How has it been? How's the family and
everybody is doing all right. We are all good.
Okay.
Life is good.
Sure.
We can't complain much.
We thank God.
Yes.
Now, before we get into the conversations, over the weekend, there was this chaos. That's what I'll put it, because how the entire issue turned out to be, I say, Obi Kran Abe Plante Bombo presidency. Nina ne says Sami Jemfi Kwe na Okushi Agrada. Omundi din komo kakra. According to the actual story, Agrada was the one who even approached Sami and wanted Sami to help her seek some sympathy from the president because of what she said against him while in opposition and all. And Sami in return even advised Agrada to, when it comes to politics, there are some boundaries you don't need to, because if you all they should know how to go about things in the public domain when they are speaking about politics and political figures. Then this woman was like, and then so the whom there was me show. She first requested for a picture with Sammy, and then also requested for full money. And out of kindness, Sammy just entered his car, tried to get some money for her. She even took all the money from his hand, and she flaunted it on camera. Hey, who said woman no day? Man, just cow Sammy ho. The currency was in dollars. So. And when the video came out, it's raised an entire uproar, both in the NDC and in the NPP. From the NDC stands, they were like, only power campaign at CIA, or on our commaniska. Ye mubi krano, ye nyashi free, bra brema party no, ye deba power nim. That's from the NDC. The NPP also were like, hey, I didn't two gold board, I fed the Ojecha dollars, so this describe him. Zebeya yin ne DBC, yam fire no ABC, we be test, a mama hammer, like so many things went. I don't know if you heard about it, but
yes,
that was the issue that
I followed. I followed the conversation around everything. I don't see it to be an issue. You see, the problem is with the foot soldiers.
Okay.
Right? NDC foot soldiers not a problem. It wasn't a problem. But when they started raising questions and venting their anger, frustrations, then MPP capitalized on it.
Okay.
You get it? But me see Kanyai Yankoye audit gold board and I cast $1 So what is the problem here? Are we saying that once you become a public official, you cannot give people money or you cannot give gift? Is that what we are saying?
Probably.
Says I near Candia. And ye here for now, ye pemoy a politician, ye bro. Because now what will happen is that politicians will start treating us like as in pushing us away.
Sure.
Because they know that if we come close and they offer us a helping hand, it might lead to them losing their jobs.
Okay.
You get it? And that is one of that is one part people have not really averted their minds to. And then MPP for no more press conferences, more primaries for or more parliamentary. And you're going to 7,000 citizens at the end.
I don't know if you've listened to Ozu Bemba from the NPP.
No, I don't want to even go there. I've heard him that people were giving $50,000 to their girlfriends and all that. But he who calls for equity must come with clean hands. Oh, your primaries, no, which a child, manfus, manfus, busa, say, scabe, I'll say a kreska. Now, some agent video here, I glad our program as no man, a kreska, also on TV that. What's the principle in that?
Omo in cities, Sami do in dollars.
Now, one Tihana baby any and Riaso be quite MP. A car second Japan, as what the Sikabetuno no $100 go. Ah, Canada Japan, Tia $100, I'll be $200. Na MP for Nigana. Woman,
some a code of conduct.
No man, not the woman code of conduct. Mahama Mambun was say code of conduct. It is not the code of conduct is just ethics. It's not backed by law. And yamra. Different. There's a difference between ethics, morality, and law.
Sure.
Nobody punish you for being immoral, but you get punished for breaking the law or falling foul to the law.
Okay.
So if even in the code of conduct, baby, anywhere, you can't give somebody money. I don't see where Sami Jemfi has flaunted the code of conduct.
Okay.
You get it? If you talk about opulence, you can say, when you look at the section that talks about opulence, Mecho Bisika, Namakwa Tanamikam, and a Miss Kanamano, Yami
video,
and Yamina video, no be a video. And yes, a Mijamuna Miss Priest can. So, what is the opulence about that?
Sure.
What is opulent about that?
Sure.
But we are in a political space. Political parties or political actors would want to capitalize on every little thing to make political gains and political capital. But let me assure people, this won't win you the next election. So this kind of politics won't win you in the next elections. The whole thing is that one will call a primary, which is Chiska. But me thank you to your own Chiska or thank you to us.
Oh, Ache.
Anakrana or more on a second I'll call Donitis come on, Nenyeche. Nenyeska Chenibia.
Then there be the cowboy.
Or the Cobwana, Samijan video and the Yam one or Wagada. And I grad that is who in Hamwa.
Yes, I grad in him.
What the one Nipa Nipa be was as who in Hamwa. A procrastination you to boom. Not JJ, president of Ghana, or call a UN program. Yeah. And I'm channel $500,000 for fighting hunger around the 83 community there. Yeah. You get it? When he came, instead of using that money for his personal gain, you know what this says can cost 30 UDS. And no says can nay sika a free politician bottom into Obia or call. Wako UDS every anyam fast we free sa a chede na rolling the chair or mine so. So must we say that because politicians are not supposed to give gifts or money? Was that a crime for Rollins to get $500 and decide to donate that money for say ADC a university? You get it? Yeah. So I don't get this. Until say we establish that Semi Genvi has embezzled money or misappropriated funds, there shouldn't be any issue about this. Say ye cohesion news or first or minus academic can say this can be no the agrada. You get it? Yeah. But until then, obviously can right? Yeah. And Sami Genvi has not been unemployed all these years. He has been working, he has businesses. Yeah. And everybody that knows Sami Genvi knows that Ushia Sami Genvi. Even when he was in opposition. Yeah. Now he will sort you out. Sure. Everybody that has met Sami Genvi before knows this. Yeah. Even when he goes to radio interviews, or Chesikama or more production, or more BS. So the guy has been generous, even in opposition. So politics shouldn't change us, right? Never say a month bodyguards best start up boying Okruma. Yeah, the politician bodyguards they will start beating us in this town because. The politician will tell the bodyguard say and more be a meme.
Say or no losing my bodyguard and so losing.
Of course. And more be a meme. Until more be ben no. Na juma say I want to juma say. In the be wo Africa okay sabi. Okay akufa do video bi. Video bi. Na papa bi di mi kan di catch bodyguard. Yeah no. And no be see. It will start happening. You see we live in a society the ordinary person feels entitled to the politician's wealth because if you say men are metu abama na waye okay you get it on fan say na waye dada and I obey politics ni here so to abama na say wabe your man penny or man mu penny ne de we assume say o man ni sika nyina hye wonsa nti wo dibi nti a politician an ordinary person will carry his child and come to a politician and tell me buy school fees me piska kwa kutua. Yeah. Me yera wo mam skan kwaje outdooring. It happens. Sure. Afenyo mark no more ye press conference. Into a call futu a amanfo na ya ombe tena ne kwaya no twen more musika more kono more sort of out no. Should we say because of that on losing his seat as an MP and I say you nyini free her as a minority leader. It doesn't make any sense. Sure. What you had here Achade, what should be no nipa nasere na de no de ache no. So what is this?
Some people went as far as okay, I wouldn't say as far as, but some people actually felt this needed investigations into his wealth, so they petitioned tried to rule out an investigation into Sami's wealth.
That petition has been withdrawn.
Yeah, it was withdrawn yesterday. I don't know what then made a person withdraw his petition. I don't know if it. I'm yet to find out whether the petition withdrawal came.
Senka, Oman withdraws had the way out. It will be a Pandora's box that we are opening. I will just also petition to investigate other people's work. If I don't like you, I just petition charge to investigate your work. You see, we can do this if the person commits a crime. If the person embezzles funds, then we can now commission an inquiry into Nisika over the past if it was genuine. But you just don't sit down and say Ubi actually be scanty the first person our petition for them to investigate would have been Afenya Marken.
Why?
Have you forgotten that he on one a baby and Anoka say
as at 24 years now?
Yeah, man alone, $20 million.
Yeah.
24 Japadia Ben or they call collateral on the salon, no man.
Young question is in the kidney too now.
Of course. One can near petition the beba.
Yeah.
So there are certain things it doesn't make sense to me. And when you say it, Sabe na day, I won't say I would let me use a nibre. You use that a nibre na day. Of course. It doesn't make any sense. Sami jamfia sika o ni sika dada. And will be a shadow no asera no money. What is the noise about it? Oka said there was a video of Okujeto Abrakwa telling people to book an appointment and come to the office.
Yeah.
And do you know there was an uproar?
A whole uproar. See, on running crop for
and Royal Bay Minister in our opposite appointment. But they met him at a function where he had other obligations or Pentama Koya the Fofro. And on person I had the Intimin appointment. And you cannot just walk to his office. You have to book an appointment with him to meet him. So what directly or Mokwaya on Fasunshi or Monfasunshi and Kekeno. And also so imagine Sami Genvi had ignored her grada and said, oh, imagine that pro.
Say a kind.
Arrogance.
And I don't know where people actually get. And I always say this. I'm not paid by the NDC. I'm not paid by the NPP. Nothing. So I state what.
Even if you are paid, you are doing a service. And as long as it is not a crime to offer a legal service and get money, who cares?
See, when people speak of arrogance, we just throw that word around. If you've met that man before, you actually experience what humility means.
Of course.
And as you rightfully said, he has money.
Yeah.
See, Sami started driving Land Cruiser way before 2017. He has cars that he sometimes gives out to other people.
Now, Sami Musa said before, so about NDC power, not in Airport Hills.
Sir.
Airport Hills.
All my power.
What the Airport Hills?
I mean, this is the first time Sami has come into power.
Yes, this is the first time. You see, the time that NDC was in power around 2016 and all that, he was the PRO for KME. And on I mean, and this guy had pubs in Kumasi even before
he where he rented for his pub. He was paying close to 20 million cedis.
You see that thing?
And as at then, now all the KME is kind of
no, of course. And then if you go to Kumasi, won't say yes, no, you see. So these things are and Niema. I just feel that Ghana no scandal come at the yache.
With this incidents of Sami gifting somebody money, can we term that as a scandal?
No. Send Americano. Scandal come at the yache. Any semblance of a scandal, you take it as a scandal. But this is not an issue. I'll say before 2025, a channel to be a scandal.
We had a term. We had a term that it was 1 week, one scandal. Well, every week at the for about.
Of course.
But I say I feel
even the horse and a dollar no you see the $3. In the BBC a government credit no. As I'm going to be by near find dilute to us. I'm not near query.
Wow. But CD to dollar and so as I mean, who is saying
It is.
People are saying that, and I think last week we mentioned it here. Say, almost say it's at the back of the gold for oil thing and all that.
You see, when they realize that argument has fallen flat, do you know where they've shifted it to? Now they are saying that a tariffs, Trump tariffs, nama dollar na what they are confirm. But the cedi is not just gaining strength against the dollar. It is gaining strength against the pound. It is gaining strength against the yen. It is gaining strength against the Canadian dollar. It is gaining strength against the euro. Euro no can appreciate it. You get it?
Yeah.
So based on what do you say that it is the Trump tariffs and ama cedi ni ya?
And even with that, I mean, there are neighboring countries. We can't say same for them.
Of course, naira dollar ebuana ebono.
Naira no you the 12 for my evangelist too. Ana na why evangelist
naira.
And you the 12 for my CD.
Open dollars.
And I'm for me CD naira. Oh, that
Nigeria,
no, Nigerian naira, naira for phobia.
Naira Mali.
Yeah, naira, it's not that effective.
Okay, well, let's just hope that it wouldn't be just a fluke.
Of course, I just hope that they are able to sustain it for a period of time. That is when we can see the genuine impact on our pocket on. Goods and services and all that. Okay. But an 11-day wonder, not just bregu. So I just hope that we can sustain it.
Okay.
And then let's leave Sammy Jamfi alone.
Okay.
You get it.
Okay.
It is his money, he decides what to do with it and all that. I said it on a platform and then they wanted to come for my head and I said no. I'm telling you the truth. When I meet you and I give you money, I'm a private person.
Yeah.
You get it. There's no issue.
Yeah.
So let's say, for instance, and our pay scholarship, and also pay security of school fees. Now, of course, I'm if you want or this is kind of would you have had a problem with it? Anya wouldn't because it wasn't you. It's because it was Agrada, and you feel Agrada and a DDNDC attempt that. And so what?
Even Nipano crowd, Nyamo be who says or besre a Boniface.
And so what? A Kufuado can say, John Mahama is a perennial presidential candidate. Do you know what that means?
No, no,
Perennial means a constant failure. He's a perennial achiever. He's like something constant.
Yeah.
That is it. Well, lose elections, lose. You see, Akufo-Addo lost elections 3 times before not even general elections 3 times before he became president. Mahama lost twice and became president the second time. But still, Nana Akufo-Addo friend a perennial presidential candidate. And so Akufo-Addo, onena ankushia oko nansi, anchacha omwan sere. Do you think if Akufo-Addo needs something, he cannot call Mahama and get it? Do you think if Bawumia needs something, he cannot call Mahama and get it? They can all call him. They have their numbers. They talk almost all the time. So if you say so, be a cassette and into one hour thinking of both now, one cassette here. Are you sure some Mahama Krabi Agrada the way and these food soldiers are Agrada? Now, how do you even know where she voted for? Who she voted for?
Yeah.
Okay, can in some who knew no? Okujina, not still or Toma Mahama, obey them. Okay, the chief free for Virginia Monteka say you say Ghana for 2 Abama Baumia next be Nimyansa. And so Okojina Nancy or Samba Monteka say Okojina how be 2 Aban or taste a quarter say couldn't take a kito or 2 Mahama into a no Jimmy. So you see, in as much as we feel that the people we love are being disrespected, their wars are not ours to fight.
Okay.
If Mahama wants to fight Agrada for insulting him, he can. He doesn't need any MPP, NDC food soldier to fight that war for him.
Sure.
You think Mahama couldn't have sued Agrada for everything that she said
against him?
He could have, but he understands that politics, you play it by numbers. You don't go after people because they have contrary opinion or have said something about you, something against you that you don't like. If somebody says something against you or about you that you don't like in politics, the best thing you can do is bring the person closer. Explain your side of the story to the person. And once the person leaves your presence, he will go like, hey, now I know the kind of person he is. Yeah. And he will now start propagating your good side to other people. Yeah. He might not even vote for you, but the person he talks positively about to might go and vote for you. You get it? Yeah. So that is how you should do politics. Sure. I don't see the need for this purely adversarial politics that we perform in Ghana. You know, Ghana no we MPP ni NDC ni or Tamfo, we NDC ni MPP ni or Tamfo, and to the extent that your Kokra no more Jumama, we want to chase them away. Of course, if the visions don't align, they have to make way for people who vision aligns with the central government. Sure. But it shouldn't just be say by force giddy piano because we MPP ni. There are MPP people who have the knowledge, the technical capabilities, and they might align with NDC's vision for this time. Let them work. You get it? If they align, if their visions align and they are not going to be saboteurs, then there's no point in chasing them away. You get it? Yeah. But Ghana no, too much to the extent that if you are not my party folk, politics Bruni no the democracy brain no senka sananka was a democracy ya ka chamber na yebesi ni miru can people for no fa omu hu NDC for no kra na NDC for no so fa omu hu na say NDC win and ka yem fa MPP for kra nkotana so omu ye opposition parliament ho okay politics what the wadwen ba na me the madwen aba okay what I say me aka bom ne de kama na economy
okay all right that was Stephen with his opening for today's show. Don't forget to join the conversation on our media platforms at Ghana Talks Radio on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, and on X. Also on YouTube, you can join the conversation on YouTube. Ghana Talks Radio. Our WhatsApp line is 0202-544-614. 0202-544-614. Our website is www.ghanatalksradio.com. Reg.
Yeah.
I'm ready to see them come on ever. Reggie, what for train da?
Train. Yeah. That me who be down to me favorite.
Who
way. Yeah. Me climb pool.
I feel better now.
I'm say TV so.
TV so. Okay. But
and then the one they brought, I think Baumia brought.
No way.
Say me say almost say a queen accident.
Train.
And almost somebody call Akoyeni up to now.
What are going?
Almost some Koyeni, Yom Kosi in Yaba.
And your mess Wagana.
Coveron say Unquarao. Hey! Only say Unquara, don't can be actually a veggie.
But Steve, you're train Wagana.
Train her.
Hey, Juma free.
If Baku free time, a bus cycle.
Yeah, and I think even is there a crowd? There's one day, but it's sports.
No, but could be. I'm tired for honor.
If we tell my ho, and I'm tell my horn never cry. Now, then I say about console crack on someone. And I, to 2 MPP are buying to a ton. Really, no more scrap dealers. And almost to 2 years.
What fans are much a woman? What fans are much?
Some 7
train crying on Gasana that one. Yeah, a hodna ye markets. Oh, quite namne docune sisa. Oh, crown who's a train being banana.
You know. Yeah, I say a sky train.
And
a Kufado the fast one about me, they are reference you.
Almost I won't say. Yeah, but I think that was the plan behind it. The past government realized that yes, yeah, train or Ghana, yeah, the first film now is scraps 4 to 2 now, then on now for air ton near Mao. So they decided to give us a sky train. The sky train naturally moves in the sky. And in Uber to Kwanya.
Aeroplane crowdier than a restaurant. Ghana Airways aeroplane. Yeah, they done a restaurant. Now, Sky Train in the air agency, we do not even to.
So yes, there was the plan, the decision to construct or get Ghana a Sky Train for commercial use and all, and the amount that was paid was $2 million to get the Sky Train, get it operating and all. And we're in 2025. I've been in a SASMEC. It wasn't 2022.
2021.
2021, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And 4 years down the line, we are yet to see a Sky Train. Yet the money has been paid. No train is skying. NTA scanner. And I say train. Ebia bani a park or ports. You to mean clay. Ebia worrying, but Elon Musk near more you will win than saying, you know, yeah, China will be near maybe and Sana. Ya Pahontoma will win. We don't know all these things. So
okay. You see, the $2 million was not paid to construct the train, the Sky Train, or start it. It was paid to own shares in the company that was supposed to start the Sky Train.
Hey,
yes, the $2 million was for 10% of the company shareholding. So Nkagana buying about 10% of the company. And do you know we paid this money when feasibility studies has not even been done to show say ampa Sky Train Ghana.
Who did we pay that money to?
A company in South Africa.
So the company has come out to actually say that they received $2 million from us.
The company no cry and Tiasi be magu. And why never come be actual?
Okay. So the company is not even.
We paid the money to a company that it didn't even have a license to operate.
Is it Mauritius or?
Yeah, that is they set up the company shareholding structure in a tax safe haven called Mauritius. A honor this tax free. But the company itself is a South African company.
South Africa train or when
yes, I think they have a Sky Train.
Okay.
They do. They do in some part of Joburg.
Okay.
But the irony of the matter is that, you see, we didn't do feasibility studies to know that you know, when Peter Mau was sent to that railway ministry, he was asked, and then he told us, as it stands now, so based on which assessment assessment been a year as a country that informed our decision to invest $2 million into that a Sky Train. Now from the end cry from the end cry to na the ton of scraps. From the end cry na yetimide a car could see quite so much train no boom. From the end wo na sura ede dade na aye na ekuram na dade na Ghana how cast obi mfa dade won fa or the scrap metal na baka ko be maza buda from ho. We didn't even do feasibility studies to know that these are the areas that we can do. You see, sometimes so obey bibi say ya, you make sure you do all the feasibility studies, you have all your documents, you know your SWOT, and you've done your SWOT analysis, you know where it will work and where it will fail, where your weaknesses are, your strengths and everything, before you commit funds into it. You just don't commit funds because company be a free or catch us be intimate. I had a proposal to like, instead of, have you seen the coastal line from Accra to Cape Coast?
Yeah.
Yamfa Railway and Tohon. So the tourist that comes to Ghana instead of traveling by road, you now give them a coastal ride with the train. When I took this proposal, they told me that I haven't done any feasibility studies, and then they cannot support it without feasibility studies. Maybe Ghana, you cannot support my project without feasibility studies. But South Africa in India, which maybe my time is kind of man. So without feasibility studies. So you see the kind of nation that we had under these people. And
yeah, so yes, the state had filed charges against.
This is willfully causing financial loss to the state. So yeah, feasibility studies and the BBR turned out to be all right there. And now this situation more, then we can now go and say that everything was all right. Just the company decided to embezzle our money, or not use the money they said they were going to use the money the way they said they were going to use it.
And so with that, we can actually fight the company.
The company and not you, the individual. Here is the case. I'm one more that I don't know. Ghana Infrastructure Development Fund. You didn't do any feasibility studies. On kind of proposal. Is that how to run a country? Is that how to say your more company, your more business, on private business? Is that how they would have done it? Me Professor me you know. I was very young when I heard him go 4 times. Now Professor me Professor me. Now Professor na in pro school no quite Professor na the. If my mother, who has never attain that high level of education, wouldn't commit such a blunder, then you, Professor, you sit down and do this, then I think that my mother should have been the one in your position and you been in my mother's position. I'm telling you the truth, because my mother is a business woman, a shrewd business woman at that. Me now kase me ton phone here, no phone no crop. Questions will be busa ne, see no be negotiating. Phone 1,000 cedis. I will be a ton base 500. Me mami munkro for come no say negotiation. Or be can now swaka can work show defect and I say phone cry baby how are you? And our phone say phone there nya mono sa. You get it? Obe we actually now waje na dia na tum no age waje na de no on waje. So that's how you are supposed to do. If you the auto the brebiano treat it as your personal property. Treat it as because at the end of the day, Professor Amia Kumfi or Nanano, even so much at your Ghana is their home. Imagine says and count the near to 2 years na sky train you ye buyer. When no more broaching can be proud and say, oh yeah, Nana. And then nam so much sky train by Ghana. See, oh Nana no more because a Nana and Nam son Ghana walk $2 million.
But in a way, Ministry of Finance, don't they have a hand in this?
You see, Ghana invest Oman call Ministry of Finance and a kwaje scano. They use Ghana Infrastructure Development Fund.
Okay.
What I say? It is a special purpose vehicle, an SPV, on its own. Mahama started that to bridge the infrastructure gaps. What I say? And he said, if we have to build an infrastructure, be a hunche de here pana, and you have about call Ministry of Finance there. And one a secretariat, it's our gift no one a secretariat or what they run things just like Get Fund.
Okay.
What I say? But a Kufuado buy no, what times that can be the born, I can't tell what's on fancy hotel.
I can't tell
you.
Hotel
you can Google and check. Normally, me, if I say this and you want to argue, I say Google.
I'm not Google. I'm not arguing.
Reggie, Google. Akufo-Addo gives his brother-in-law. His brother-in-law give funds. Give.
Sometimes, if I call this man controversial, people don't get me.
Give to build a hotel.
Sometimes when I call this man, going to baby, I won't come with.
So
not a single day. I was saying, as I see, Waba studio, I some Papa, you ding. What they work, why you be? I'm a patch of man.
You're fast, you're fast, your chrome casa, your casa, Pochian Swana, a Jesu be before. Now, on the chrome casa.
Oh, okay.
And okay say yeah kasa sana I say no mo ko bi asa no ka say otie po chance one na just oye before and on so yeah na say you add it to his vocabs ti omudi nko on so kan otie po chance one na mu say na say o say say oye nipa money ni. Did you find it?
Yeah, I found it. So it says President Akufo-Addo gives his in-law 136.7 billion Ghana cedis tax exemption. At a time he has compelled Ghanaians to pay more taxes to his government. Oh, man,
so you say I'm not lying.
But I never called you a liar. I was only asking.
So now I'm giving you the source. So you see, this fund was meant to help bridge the Ghana the infrastructure deficit we have in Ghana.
Okay.
So using that fund to construct a sky train was a perfect idea. The idea was not bad, but the way they went about it itself was wrong. You see, they could have studied the feasibility studies, gone into it, checked the analysis and everything about it before even committing Ghana into buying shares.
Okay.
You get it? And sometimes investors they can say I'll buy shares.
That's it.
So they could have just piloted a section baby ka credit to say Accra Central and as a ridge baby a Jumaifo kopa ne baby a mo yes survey now you can go there and ask a Jumaifo am wa dodo na mo te he wam se yete ha nti mo find na dodo na te ka so a then you pilot it no my line back from ridge to Kaswa no ma say Jumaifo no be fro aba. Once that happens, then the next thing is that you now commit public funds into the thing. But how do you want then you commit public funds? You don't do it that way. It is a minor boka. At least we all expect that we recover the money. Me, I always say this: jailing somebody is not something that I want.
Okay.
If you've embezzled money and then the state can recoup some aspect of the money, let us do it. Let's just collect some of the money and let them go. Professor Ameyokunfi, he's not a child. He's 70 something years. He's over 70 years. So I think putting an old man like that in jail, no,
an old man put an entire nation in debt.
No, if say if we can get the money back, if they can refund the money back to us,
okay,
that's the point. Because
without any kind of punishment, any form of
that's itself is punishment. So yeah, just cannot maybe yeah, just cannot itself is punishment. Okay, say $2 million. That's what the house is here. Do you think that money is still there as we speak? You see, and the issue here is that young cats will discount. Yes, say what cause a financial loss. What this can will be more the call. So if you shall say, wow, my boss, I cannot TSS cannot.
And also because so be no.
Oh, who will be now walk on who wow, no other cock of pace can I then? And their baby and the Japadi Munumi and Sabino are torn or this can I then. Abrain, that's itself is punishment enough. You get it? But we can also decide that you need 2 million, that's aqua. Yeah, this kind of ball, but 2 million and KBA, so you pay with interest. What I say? In the instead saying 2 million, I say okay, 2 million there by interest 1 million better so.
But since the money was not used for its intended purpose, why not to go back to that company you gave the money to?
Where the company? I told you the company is defunct. You see, it was companies that opens accounts in tax havens. You cannot trust them because I don't know they can close their company at any time.
You can't track them.
You can't track them because shareholding structure and nipa or a company that was the problem with Japa because they incorporated the company in the tax haven, so we didn't know who the shareholders were. In the moment me aba say say good ni na ade be china company na gu unhunu ba bia unimo bia onipa na o company no owner So now the company is defunct. So Zanka you nim baby you nim nipa obi a company na. Some ngede am you confirm me kon ken so nko di o maji say ngede na kan ho say won so beji esika so be skytree na my one. What is it? But we don't know. That's the problem. That's what happened. So I think that the Attorney General is trying, but he needs to quicken the pace at which this kind of prosecution goes. I think Ghana, criminal prosecution when it comes to politicians, a chedodo.
And why is that?
I don't know.
Now you are sentencing will be 19 years for stealing goods. Goods.
And so judges go to bribe the least that happened.
Let's see goods and phone.
The worst that happened to them.
I think I saw their phone.
The worst that happened to them was losing their jobs.
So I don't know with the I don't know how to put it. Let's say the less privileged. One part if I find say or community no muko there is swift prosecution for them.
Yeah, so when you scam cover lawyer man be delay case.
Okay.
What do I say? The best you can get is a public attorney. Or not so open time you actually work to mama. I'm managing the cash and bottom up on the baby. I found if politician or fat lawyer no the motion we call the way no procedure way I say near Fahani is here something. Okay. Yeah,
but Steve.
Yes.
Let's look at this thing that when politicians mess up, and let's say especially in financial losses and all. Senior Professor Kumfine, Mr. Samuel 18. And then we are just saying we should just get the money back and leave them be. Do you think it is a right? It will set a right deterrent to other people, because prison is a form of punishment. It's and sanke to me borrow a political class in one kebebo.
For the meantime, when you move around there, you see,
and see, I'm felt so quite useful from boom.
You see, I don't have a problem with somebody being jailed. You get it? But the point is that yes, we risk okay. You're jailing for 10 years. You're niskano and you're jailing on our them. Why not lose you?
But
awkward them, don't forget, say, when our young is compared your name and a deal. And say it to me, yes, he can put one the masanke.
Okay.
What is it? You see, what it does is that, say, a bow do as a politician. Na ya mfango tum ni agie sika, you lose trust obi anyu ni biem.
Okay.
Mala misa ni na wode sika ko afcon na sika no ko yere chi tum. After say ye bi ye no Martin ho asem biem. Has he occupied any public position? No. His career has gone down the drain. Samson e just can feel where be. You get it? Yeah. So I understand your point, but the thing is that since we are not there yet, I think we should devise mechanisms if we are able to get our monies, and then we should one thing that I advocate for is that we should create a fund. Of course, we shouldn't add that money to the consolidated fund. We should put that money in a separate escrow account where we can use that money for specific project. I bet me and says here, I say, I'm here confirming $2 million a year. I need a year with you. Okay. A dean Emma Wona where G's can free honor. Years to come, people will come and see that as soon as you found my can a different hole in a day and on Fabi.
Okay. Okay. Reggie?
Yeah. So what happens to Mr. Solomon Asamoah? Because according to what the Attorney General is saying, he's evading questioning, and according to him, he's on a business mission or something.
He has been on a business mission for how many months now? They will trial him in absentia.
Okay.
You be do wasam abrawuni ha. Yintie wasam. Say afrawamba. They will only listen to you when you decide to avail yourself and say your side of the story. But if you decide not to avail yourself, they will prosecute you in absentia. And when you are found guilty, they can now write to Interpol to find you wherever you are.
And bring you back.
And Interpol will, because Ghana is part of Interpol. So on the upper one time you attend and on Canada. So I remember Steven and me ball chrono. And I said me can say on no chrono, but me be born here. Do you think say meet me at baby I can say me business meeting? Who born dog?
Okay. Our next topic for discussion is the Ghana cedi. First, na Ghana yedi currency be. And then you cedis.
The British pound.
Yeah.
You know, actually, one be friend a Ghanaian pound. One be pound my.
And some 60 years ago, we decided to, have our own currency, which is the Ghana cedi. And the Bank of Ghana is looking to celebrate such a milestone. Say, we've been able to have our own currency for the past 60 years. It's commendable and all. So they are looking to, celebrate such a milestone. But then, Steve, when you look at when we were using the pound and now using the cedi, and even the cedi going through some transformations over the years, some zeros taken off, some added somewhere, some of the zeros now making less value than it used to make back then and all. What will you really say about this journey of our currency transitioning?
Okay. The cedi was introduced in 1965.
Yeah.
I think July 1965. And then we've gone through various phases. But the one that really is quite significant is the 2007 one.
Okay. And why do you think that is the most significant?
Because it devalued our cedi, made us lose. The cedi lost its purchasing power. You get it? As it stands now, since 2007 up to now, the cedi has lost. I'm not saying depreciation. There's a difference between depreciation and then value.
Sure.
The cedi has lost 93% of its value.
Wow.
93% of its value.
So it's 2007.
Okay. So before we change our currency to what we have now, if 10,000 cedis could buy this phone, it means that now you need 93,000 more to buy the same phone. The value is gone.
But they told us the value was the same.
The value was never the same. That 1 peso, that 5 peso, that 10 peso. Do you see them?
Never. You see, at 20 pesos, crazy.
20 pesos, they say, entoshi.
The first night, you tones you.
They say, 50
pesos.
So you now see the value that I'm talking about. How it's lost value over time. Americans still have quarters. Quarter. They still have it. And they still use it. It is still a legal tender in America. And ne ukunya sa 1 peso ni bi ke kambo ma timinya 1 cedi na de kujina ba bi so water de ayenye. Even 10 pesos yenye. Okay, cut 10 pesos woman on ya 10 cedis. Now cast okojina baby there to there. Yenje. So in as much as the city has grown and evolved, I think that you see, we've devalued it even further. And sometimes I'm tempted to believe that
Why?
Because there was no point in doing that.
And I was about to ask you if there was a particular reason why we had to change these denominations in 2007.
Okay, so that time I say dollar no, busi di no dodo, and at that time no, na dollar no ye 11,000. Tisadia yenye 1,000 1 cedi. Yenye 1,000 no 1 cedi. Na tisi dollar no 2 cedi no nye 1 cedi 10 pesos.
How does that? I know I'm not really a financial expert, but I don't see how that still matches the strength of the dollar.
You see that thing? It is a PR gimmick. It is a public deception. On paper, why do you say CD? 1 CD is to $1.
Yeah.
But in actual fact, still like 1,000. 1,000 CDs. 30,000 CDs was to $1.
Because
and the
value.
Of course, the upper and the dollar to a CD is
12 CDs.
12 CDs. What they call old currency, I can say.
120.
120,000. 120,000. And yet 2007 years.
No. 120.
120,000.
Hey, first say your gas will be
120,000.
Share. Oh, about 100,000. Hey! And why ye?
20,000 credits.
We are talking about 10 CDs. 100,000.
10 CDs.
10 CDs.
20,000 no 2 CDs. 20,000 no 2 CDs. Ko 4 ba no we twa 10,000 and a 20,000.
20,000, yeah. Now you
need first no na pim 5,000. Green.
JJ Green no. Yeah.
It is we more green. You green no bond ba ko say bem.
He.
O problems na ko.
Na me auntie bi. Me auntie bi no water crowd. Na oba ye ho a on nukunu. Say omu yi ska bia ka green.
Jinyame. Na nzana da so na I see.
Na omo de swan so omo nje nsesa. Enu kra na ekumi no.
So is it
omo ba fie na omo swan me 1 million times meko.
Yes, sir. Yes, redenomination here no. By January 2014, the cedi had weakened to the dollar to 2 cedi 35 pesos.
Nice.
Now marking 135% drop against the dollar. And you do 2022, exchange rate was 7.2 to the dollar. Now depreciated 630% as of the day I heard the redenomination. Abohun mako waha aduasa. Ana yeba na nima ebedu 14 cedis. And a bohun 1,300%.
Wow.
So tell me, with this, how does anybody tell me that the redenomination was to help the city? It didn't help the city. It killed the city instead. You see, I will call that a lazy man approach. Because we used cosmetics to paper over the cracks. So instead of say be ye enema be ma city na nya ahoden no and ye paint efafa city so na ye shen I am mono. Instead of building our industries, instead of changing the economy, the face of the economy to be an export driven instead of import driven.
Yes,
city no. The thing is also a demand and supply thing. It has got nothing to do with the zeros.
Sure.
It is a demand and supply thing. Sure. The amount of CD ne was system no chasing the dollar and the Bema CD nine akosoro. So if you have an economy, the dollar inflows are huge. It means you have few cities going after dollars, more dollars. Into yebema dollar and boy then IFU because dollar no was system no be bra. Getting dollar won't be difficult for you to need a huge sums of cities to go get it. So ye bibia ebema wanya dollar aba system no. So that's why I commend the gold board initiative. Senga one district one factory ye so ye ne amfa nye chaskele amfa nye party as in sema. You can imagine the kind of things we'll be exporting and then the kind of dollar inflows we'll be getting. By anya mubia in the decided say oh zeros no card doors on the door baumia yen test of 4 then can yaka and see where that got us. So if you look at the things the stages the cities have gone through up to now, I think we could have done a better job. We could have, but it is never late than ever. Now I see the cities making gains, and I wish that it continues. The consistency is what I'm preaching.
Okay.
Let's try and find ways to make it consistent. If the gold board is going to help, let's find a way to push it and then make it a mainstay.
Okay. In what ways do you think or would you propose we channel steps to in making sure that we can have a strengthened cedi against the dollar?
We need to scale up our export.
Okay.
It shouldn't just be the what do you call it?
The gold.
The traditional export material, the gold, the cocoa, the timber, the bauxite. No.
Okay.
Instead of sending raw gold, how do you process it? Instead of sending raw cocoa, how do you process it? Okay? You see, the cocoa conundrum is something that you know that there's no tax on raw cocoa. So the raw cocoa
Tax being
tax and that's all. But who process here tax that's all. Do you know what they are trying to do?
No.
They are trying to discourage you from processing it and bringing it
to them.
They are trying to make you bring it raw to them, since it is cheaper for you to bring it.
But then when they process it into their products, they bring it back here
as expensive ones. And the chocolate bar, kakrebi, unkra 50 a year, when you see 50 cities, wunya chocolate papa Anthony.
Chocolate, me who be cried. I just gonna pay.
They said, according to they said it's nutritious.
And no crack.
Oh,
why are that to say? So better.
What did you tell you if you find out?
Hey,
it's not also nutritious.
Oh, they said it's nutritious
and
because it comes in its natural state.
Please. Chocolate there at least.
Today.
Obi me birthday maybe that massa. I deaf day now always me another day.
On the paragum pa.
Oh god.
So you see, if we want our city to be stable, these are some of the things we have to do.
Okay.
You know, some years back, the Chinese currency was just like ours. But when they started production, export, making China a destination for goods and services, now their currency is very strong.
Wow.
What do you say?
Wow.
So if we want to do that, we can. I don't think it's just having the political will to do it and telling them to hell with them.
To hell with who?
To the Europeans and
Westerners,
yes,
okay.
to the West.
Okay.
We do things our way, and if you don't like it, to hell with you. If we start to do that, if we start to think that way and do things that way, I think it's going to help. I know that one day, if I decide to go for a visa interview, I might be denied because of what I said today, but I don't care. You get it?
Yeah.
The point is making Ghana a place that I would want to live comfortably without thinking of traveling.
Traveling outside. Okay.
If Ghana is comfortable, nobody will want to travel. If I wake up and I know that I have a job that will pay me enough to build a house, buy one small car, feed my family, clothe myself and my family, make savings, then who would want to travel? So the point is,
I think you left one important factor in.
Which factor?
The side chick.
Me, I don't do side chicks.
Oh, really?
Thank
Of
you.
course, I don't do side chicks. It's either I'm in or I'm out. Yes.
Okay. A lot of people do the side chicks. So.
Then it means you do it.
I don't do
You don't do it.
And right now,
Men no cry me.
woman meeting a console now, Mr.
Yeah, me I mean about.
No woman meeting a console.
Me who ye? You know me who you, but I'm be allegation am I? Na me so my mention na me say oh me new.
And go for any you. Me can't post here on Friday.
No. So me, I passed my comment on Friday and decided not to say anything.
Me nim say na at what chance me post here. Me post here na comment ba. Hey, if I say I papa your money transfer.
Me know na post. Me know who posting na me jina wachi.
Ghana 4%.
Aye, asam
they post hey our wife. I'm saying hey today dear you have posted it.
The caption
it doesn't matter. The issue I had with was not in maybe I not tell. Oh Lord, say what time this you come on there. So what was I even saying?
So yeah, we should do more.
Of course, we should do, and we should try to add value to our raw material, and then make sure that we make a market that will make foreigners come in here and buy our stuff. It will bring in the dollars, it will bring in the euros, it will bring in the pounds, and once that comes in, our city will be stabilized. And if our city is stabilized, prices and goods will go down, because everything, whether we like it or not, the pricing of everything is pegged against the dollar to CD depreciation rate. You get it? Nti Toyota Veta 2016 na ukra 14,000 ultimaton. And I used to ukra 140,000. That's what me after that same Toyota Veta. So I think that these are things that we need to look into.
But talking about the stabilizing of the city, do you think the Bank of Ghana especially has been effective in stabilizing the city?
Oh, I don't want to talk about them. You see, the Bank of Ghana printed how much money into the system in 2022?
60 point something billion.
You see, that is why the inflation went up to 54%. And now people are saying that, oh, Baumia Kono, Omuja gold reserves. What jam gold reserves and what jameka. So balance that. One year she Bank of Ghana on tomatoes. So Bank of Ghana has no business running at a loss. In fact, we should be making profit, because we have charges yet these financial institutions. So ukoja 30,000 metric tons of gold say waja reserves now be jam 60 billion Ghana cedis card was a no you've not done anything.
Prior 2020 the bill.
And no, because every year every year they record losses.
Was from 2021.
Yes.
Recorded losses from 2021 up to 2024.
The cancer losses ni na boom. Now kwa calculate the value of gold reserve. Now I say gold reserve bet me at sa kanwa. So Bank of Ghana for there. Na me pese me come masem. It irritates me to think that nipa won't turn tomatoes, won't turn body. We be catch them say wa boka. What they regulate the financial sector? Who is a regulator?
There were so many things they did that never made sense, because you can look at the banks that they closed. Look at the money the banks needed to survive.
9 billion.
and look at the money they spent to
25 billion.
So why then don't you even loan them that amount? Give them a space of time to work and pay you.
Ultimate trust is kind of my buying. Money di say no. Now ultimate trust is kind of my banks no. Regularity. You see, this was a perfect opportunity for government to take control of our financial sector.
Sure.
You see, the government could have also decided that me research can be mau. I'm using it to buy a stake in your business. Oh, me talk say, say you GN Bank, and a government koto stake or more. To be 50%. Can what didn't you know? How can you know now value? And say it will be 50% of the business. What be a majority shareholder?
Yeah.
Right. So you do what? You want to be appointed CEO. Want to be appointed board chairman. Every major decision, I buy a bit take. Park was in doom ye owner there, but on your two now buying a day and crow for near you manner. And for so be banwa tibia day. Amano. It could have been better. Okay? Financial so those financial institutions need free or minor. And a man Ghana which about minor kese. Because say GN Bank or ha Namiti area ha Park was your marine bank manager. Park was your marine in me fee. Inti oma me bosia oni bebi amete na o te ablekuma ha o sori kodru ayi apsa na e wo circle ho na o kope bosia ono why ni mo sa branch o be pe bosia ma. So and these kind of banks no na omo loan requirements no e wo form mo bi atimi kokojibi o metimi ama as low as 1,000 cedis. Umbetimi ama as low as 500 cedis. Now apsa ne Ecobank ne de okwa ye pe collateral no obi.
Now they akwaji
loan. So all these decisions didn't help our financial sector, and it didn't help the economy. It didn't help the currency as well. But the thing is that this is a conversation we are not ready to have as Ghanaians.
Okay.
You get it? If you really wanted to have this conversation, then NPP wouldn't have even had their second term, which was in 2020. Because they collapsed these banks I think in 2018.
Yeah.
And look at the number of people who lost their jobs. They didn't consider that. And here by 2020 elections now, yes, skirmishes, and a year 3 month for and you see, and I'm more money to come so 1 month for music and major bonds. And I'm more bonds, and I'm saying by I'm saying DD domestic debt exchange. And I'm saying J bonds in a go. My boy, my bro, Musu. But these are the kind of conversation we should be having. But we are not ready to have them. And then people will be dwelling on Sami Jamfi giving somebody money. Sebi, because we need nyansa, so we need them. If you do this and because we need nyansa for we need them. Because the bread and butter issues, what you have to, and I walk out sebi here.
Will be personal.
Will be personal issue.
Okay. Yeah, some more.
Yeah.
And then some nankasa dear. Akona yebe koso na menya yanka cause
any bro
on Steven wants him. Me hwese ne we heating and so any. But then edu wine or signing on news anymore.
And when on free mun name free much na.
I don't know if the state is now even angry at him for trying to blackmail the states.
Yeah, the national.
Yeah. You see, they granted him bail. He served some 7 days remand in the custody of Yoko. They granted him bail. And right after the grant, he was rearrested with charges of a different scandal. How many scandals is the man involved in?
I don't know. A lot.
How did he, as a National Signals Bureau head, get involved in all these matters? Now you are in bed with the Ghana Water Company Limited.
You see, the Ghana Water Company wanted internet, a secured internet service.
Ensure
ensure charges near there no the Ghana Water Company app near there their database and all that would be on the internet, right?
Okay.
So they asked Edubuahe say or mom on you should national Signals Bureau infrastructure or what that no from providing internet no so a charge you or charge your instead says can be acquired by a no call no private account. Yes. So every money that Ghana Water Company paid was paid into his private account. Ghana Water Company thought that they were paying to the government because accounts, looks like Dino are mind yourself.
Is it a BNT Communications Bureau Limited?
Of course. So they were paying to his private account instead of paying to government. And every year, every month, I think no, just say
every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, no, just saying
650,000 Ghana cedis.
And what you're saying 6.7 billion, no,
6.5 billion.
Every 2 weeks.
Yeah, every 2 weeks.
In a month, saying 4 weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
Multiply that by 2.
There's
650,000 by 2. Yeah, mass. Quick. Wait a minute.
That is 1.3 million
a month. Now multiply that by 12.
Hey.
Company no almost sign a time, baby. Near 2021, more baby.
Yeah.
Multiply that by 4. Or multiply now you're 12. We are now saying they are multiplied 4 by 4. What we saying?
Calculations.
So you can imagine the amount of money that went to him as a private person.
But wait, so he was using state infrastructure?
Yes.
To work, to gain profit for him,
to get the money for himself.
This man, what we need from him, we say, yeah, just can you say jailing?
Yeah. You see, that is the problem, the loopholes in the system of governance in Ghana. I think that the state agencies should be collaborating on official basis. What did I say? In the Ghana Water, at the Signal Bureau, say institution ben are buying there, or once the Ghana Water car. Let's balance it.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be cash transaction.
Okay.
What did I say? Senka ye and a barter trader.
Yeah.
Between state agencies now, can come and do what you then we seek. Do you get the point?
But
the answer say Signal Bureau providing internet services at the amount buying. Oh no. University of Ghana are buying there. One day Ghana Water for car see. So instead of Ghana Water for time sika. At the common Signal Bureau. Now University of Ghana what time sika they are common signal. Less
water company limited.
Less
balance no. Family and it's so
simple. Go be a new bisca. Go be a new beer. But to extent say
with young sounds as young yet on first I usually better.
And on that or Cabrani watching. So first one I come away now.
No, but no, the guy I don't get him. No, how can you be this greedy?
Evil.
Hey!
Aquano. He's intelligent too. But the thing is that he tuned his intelligence towards crime. So the bear bonnet. Not you but no, the intelligence and he tuned it towards committing crimes or the ye greed. And the influence in the intelligence. Senka, if he had decided that he wants to use his intelligence for good, you can see he's a great mind. Okay, look at how elaborate the plan is. Minko be bank accounts.
Simple, but very simple.
Minko be bank accounts and they are buying the at the same bank. Don't forget, Signals Bureau, no, one accounts. UMB, baby, or could be at the same bank. Uncle be in the bank for be able at this. And he said, audit a crabana, audit and yes matter. Oh,
so there's Canon now,
yeah, because in your mind you think that BDC this, BBC this, it's the same, it's the same company, but just they have two different accounts.
Sure.
Now the catcher of mine say, Qatar $7 million, I then $1 million. I also with them political parties in here, no TM for bonning. No, when I share, who authorized you to do that? Who authorized you to do that? I see this guy as a cash cow for attaching. Attaching be ya fipa.
Yeah, me semena can me finding whatever ways to delay the case for long.
Say no way no.
Oh yes.
Yeah, no way. Yeah, no woman will letter back when you discuss commerce when you discuss commerce. Yes, born in 2021. 2022. Also, what was it 2024 this kind of command? Political parties. Are you mad? You are even exposing yourself further.
Parties, you know, I bet you will be DNT.
Oh, needing be abo and me buy and I know on telling one. I catch you say, yeah, no more say, one more casa aqua. Who be a bodini? There's no name here he is going to mention because it's kind of mobia. Because
I thought I heard Mahama Aid and some NPP and NDC.
Mahama Aid no needy. You want Mahama Aid near the tone. You see, it's a crime. It borders on a crime. Yeah. So you cannot just say Mahama's aid and then Mahama aid on your back. Mahama has AIDS, and there are people who are walking around parading themselves as AIDS of Mahama. Mahama. Inti boni penidi. So Mahama aid and pass him. What you answer about you know one answer obey the other court. Send on what? But to avoid one person avoid it. Prosecution near the NT, lawsuits near the NT. They go like, you don't want to mention the name, you cannot mention. Then why do you put the information out if you know you cannot give us the full details? You have to give us the full details of the information. You get it? So this Adubu Ahemata, he's in deep trouble, and I feel that his lawyer is not doing him any good. His lawyer. I think that. This a conspiracy theory. You see, do you know that Attorney General is good friends with Atache? Yes. So I'm sure say I want to say Dian or say, and then my mom got pay lawyer. Over to me at Attorney General Kasano Majami. Yeah. You get it? Me sure says that. And I just had the Atache.
Ono su kodu wana wazi Charlie me am body no case no hwa yebetumi was hwe mo evidence ayi wokura mo was okay and mama fa hu ni dika
bibi mama ni be cash cow obe mmeke no ma kakra na owia no ni be ba no so na asa
Charlie ska kwa na park egu onye ska ketwa 650 every 2 weeks for 4 years. That's Ramete.
Yes. Oh.
But is the Ghana Water Company Limited also trying to say they didn't see any suspicious?
Really?
Suspicion, man.
Really?
The panel provided service number or the account number.
I'm will say to you.
4 years.
So Ghana Water or auditors, they can't audit to know say I'm part.
Yeah.
Auditors now audit all these institutions. No, they should have known.
Sure.
They should have flagged this long ago.
Sure.
And I think say they flagged it, but a year or more buying into You get it?
It could be because at the Intina, right after change of government, that was the first issue.
That was the first issue that
the Attorney General tackled. So you could tell that the evidences were already there. Or the allegations were there. All it needed was some scrutinization.
Yeah.
Hey!
Now, so prior to the elections. Yes.
Really?
Do you remember there was a kidnapping incident of Emirate 4?
Yeah.
Do you know say it is alleged and bomb? Yes.
Sa woman now.
Yeah, it is alleged say Adubu Ahenom need to coin. Or they don't crop be need to coin.
So he was part.
Yes, he was part of those traveling.
Hey, now what be on Jesus every 2 weeks? Oh, by flagging, by catching, and I saw better shaky.
So I think that it made people
allegedly.
Allegedly.
Oh, come on! I said it was said.
Democracy.
No, I even used I said it was said. So I'm not saying it based on my knowledge or fact.
Yeah.
That's what people said.
Sure.
This is family the quarter.
Yeah,
I'll see say that's
said.
what people said. I'm saying what people are saying.
Lawyers and tactical
Yeah,
technicalities. Technicalities.
So in the end, and no man who he people started going into the whole issues and all that.
Wow.
Let me just give an education on this.
Okay,
on this.
give us before.
Do you remember Canada Japan at the Kevin Taylor court or US AD4?
Yeah.
Do you know why Kevin Taylor won that case?
No.
It was because he was using the information already on the public domain.
Oh, okay.
The word I say information here no correct. And you know, one say at that public domain, that meet me the other, a come as him.
Okay.
And the better public domain, no one but I be the bank. You left it there, so anybody can assume say, since I won the bank here, I'm not there, and okay. But say me banner be the bank, so banner be the bank here. What happens is that if I decide to use a seminar at that public domain, no, I was saying the council say, ye can't say, no crab about because say, and no correct. But for the purposes of my arguments in dinner, media boom.
Okay.
Once that you purge yourself from any legal suit, of course. So that is what I'm trying to do. I never said that. I'm not trying to say that Adubuahen was the guy behind it, but I'm saying that it has been said that he was the guy involved in that issue.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, Marinaso. But I do want him scared. I'll say.
He has to pay. And not only paying, he has to face the law.
I ask I get 1 year share 6.5 billion every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Charlie.
1.5.
That means every month be our car so better fee.
No, bit me.
And a car stray.
Imagine.
Every month.
Every month.
So month we met fee and a car stray. Every month be one house, 3 cars, 1 house, 3 cars. Obeto sa nye bikura obe sandi ticket ako Dubai. Hey!
Coachelle.
Naska Ghana sa.
Changing that I don't know. Last we will preach your car say to grab the opportunity.
Bossy to you pa. Reggie, do we have any comments on YouTube actually?
Okay.
Let's read some comments before we leave here. But before we go, I want to remind you that tomorrow we'll be coming your way, same time, with the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. And in the afternoon, we'll be coming with the Showbiz Arena as well, where we bring you some entertainment facts and news in the entertainment industry in Ghana and across the world. So, I am ready. As when we thank Mr. The Big Stevens for making time with us. Always a pleasure having him here. He makes the conversation very insightful, very educative, very elaborative. Let's read some comments and then we will leave you to enjoy your Thursday morning. Ready?
Alright, so the comment we have here is from Dramani Abubakari.
Okay.
He says he's watching you live from Ahofa Goso. Ahafogoso. Thanks for the good work for Ghana.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the comment we
have.
So
that's the comment we have. Thank you too for making time with us, Dramani. I think he's a constant listener to us.
Yeah.
So yeah, kudos to him wherever he is. We wish you a good day. One of these days, you better shut up a package be near the amount because why a constant listener on the show. Once again, my name is Pakwesi Omari. Thank you to Big Steven. Thank you, Ohima Bless. Thank you, DJ Cham, for the production. And also to the entire production team, thank you for holding the show down this morning. Enjoy the rest of your day.